Osman Ghazi. Travel back 700 years to a fantasy Earth. The world is a gritty, dangerous place. The papacy is challenged by an antipope. The papal disbanded Templars recede into memory, and the Teutonic Order seems to be consuming magic, secularizing and growing in power. Two emperors battle within the Holy Roman Empire, and Hungary is at its height, but is being torn apart by a civil war. As they all fight amongst themselves, I expand rapidly and consume everything. The adventurers that call themselves the Champions of the Sun discovered that I am a vampire. Now they are trying to create a powerful weapon to destroy me. They will never succeed. While many have walked with these self-proclaimed champions, these are the present adventurers.
Only a city as grand, beautiful and powerful as Genoa could bear a man of my talent. Me? I am Naldo Renzi, treasure hunter, adventurer, master swordsman, and lover. In my journeys, I have learned of the adventures of the Champions of the Sun. They are just who I am looking for to assist me in the retrieval of the rare artifacts I seek, and heaven knows they could use my help in whatever they are up to.
I am Baldur, a Norseman, a soldier, and an eldritch knight. I left my home to leave politics behind, only to be dogged by it across Europe. I first met the Champions of the Sun outside a small town in Hungary. Together, we battled Ottoman raiders and vampires. The Champions gave me purpose again, and where it takes me, I know not, but I know I want to be a part of it.
I am Kip Caelan, Ranger of the North, and I am lost. Hailing all the way from Garin in Scotland, I have faced great tragedy, losing all those dear to me. I am haunted by that fateful night, and what was taken from me. I face defeat at every turn, attempting to enact revenge on those that did this to us. And when all my strength, resources, and allies, save for my trusted wolf Lycoa, was depleted, I stumbled upon the Champions of the Sun at the Battle of Sagut. I decided to ally myself with these seemingly capable and worthy adventurers to aid me in putting the lost to rest. It is what she would want, or so she seems to indicate.
I am Edric, and I am from England. I spent most of my youth in the Navy. Climbing the ranks, I was granted land and title. However, I did not fit in. A heretic to most, I fled, leaving my wife and children behind. In a city on mines, I met a group that changed my life forever, the Champions of the Sun. In time, perhaps they might help me reunite with my family.
I am Vilela. I hail from far-off Ethiopia. With no brothers, my noble father indulged my obsession with self-defense. On business in Rome, my family was accosted, but my skills enabled me to defeat our attackers. My desire to fight crime fueled. In my travels, I made a powerful enemy who may now pursue me. Near the Drusistine, I met a stoic knight and the Champions of the Sun. Now, in a strange land, I hope they can help me deliver justice to criminals, or death.
In these dark times, the dead rise and strike fear and feed on the living. I am Baron Andre Franz Hellwing II. I am dedicated to unlocking the forbidden secrets of my family. Through science and God, I strive to make the dead stay dead. Many fear what they do not understand. The raw materials of the flesh.
I am Matthias, of the House of Bathory, Knight Baron of Carpathia. With my traveling companion, Ambria, I was dragged into a whirlwind path by a rogue monk. But those I have met since then have earned my respect. And, more importantly, my trust.
If you meet one who claims to be a champion of the sun, tell me their whereabouts. Better yet, kill them on sight. I will reward you handsomely. Welcome to Seven-Sided Dice, Carpathian Adventure.
Welcome, I'm Sam. Thank you for joining us. We're a group of gamers who get together in real life to play Dungeons and Dragons. Some of us are military, others are in construction, still others are retail managers, or few are in IT, or parents, students, etc. So we do this strictly for fun. We hope you enjoy it nonetheless. There were quite a few thank yous in our open, except one, you. We'd like to thank you, our Twitch, Facebook, Kick, and Twitter followers, as well as our YouTube subscribers. Thank you for joining us. If you have not already, please follow on Twitch and Kick, and please like on YouTube and Facebook, and of course, please subscribe on YouTube. At last check, we're up to 443 subscribers on YouTube and 466 followers on Facebook. If during the stream you follow on Twitch, or if you subscribe on YouTube, your username will pop up on the screen. To all of our subscribers, thank you. What happened the last session? The party started it in the foggy streets of Amsterdam. Outside the city's Forgetage to Bauer restaurant, they met Naldo Renzi, put him under a white light, and interrogated him. With Naldo, they left the city and found a quiet tavern, and then interrogated him further. Naldo said that the Teutonic Order is destroying magic, and that is, quote, bad for business, unquote. He was questioned further about his business and indicated that all of his investigations led him to Amsterdam. Naldo asked the party if they saw a lower level beneath the bitumen refinery they were investigating. The Baron described an inside cargo entrance and an inside set of stairs going down. There was some speculation regarding the possibility of a tunnel connecting the bitumen refinery with the Dracunis Term Tower where they had been staying. The Baron added that he would like to destroy the refinery and get Veritas van Dracunis' Dragon Crystal. Eventually, the party headed back into the city and toward the huge tower. While Naldo, Galala, and Mattias waited outside, Balder, Kip, and the Baron went into the tower. Inside the tower's lobby, the three party members were greeted by Otricart van Dracunis. The Baron insisted on meeting with Ximén. After some parley, Otricart went to get Ximén. As he left, two guards locked the tower doors. Balder approached them and insisted that they open the doors. They refused, and Balder cast Shatter on them. Kip and his wolf attacked. Outside, Galela repositioned to perhaps go through a window. Mattias tried to kick in the door while Naldo tried to pick the door's lock. Otricart returned with what appeared to be Ximén, and Otricart seemed genuinely perplexed by the change in events. A weird conversation between a seemingly confused Otricart, an autonomic Ximén, Balder, and others ensued. Balder spotted the cured wound on the back of Ximén's head. Outside, excuse the snorting. Sorry about that. That wasn't me. Outside, as Naldo picked the door's lock, Ximén kicked it in simultaneously. A frustrated Balder threw his hammer at Otricart, and the lobby now accessible to those outside, Naldo attacked one of the guards. The Baron cast Sacred Flame on Otricart. Still, Otricart tried to calm the situation, but Galela shot him in the face. A confusing situation where Mattias was trying to grab Ximén, Balder was throwing his hammer, Otricart was reading Kip's mind, Kip was firing back, and the wolf, Naldo, and the Baron were all attacking as well, ensued. Realizing that the situation had deteriorated beyond the point of any return, the guards moved to block the doors. And then the Ximén form tried to disintegrate Mattias, but it didn't work, and Otricart dropped his form, revealing his true self, a hideous, purplish, noxious form with tentacles on his face. While trying to dominate Balder, Otricart waved his hands, and small dragons emerged from the statues on the walls and attacked the party. While Balder bashed away at Otricart, Naldo and Galela attacked. Kip threw up a wall of wind, and Borinth successfully cast a couple spells on opponents. Mattias put Ximén in a form of headlock and dragged him toward the door. However, Ximén took control of Mattias and forced him to attack Balder. Balder shattered both Otricart and Mattias. Then Kip attacked Ximén, and he went down. As he did, a hideous brain-like form with tiny legs crawled out of Ximén's exploded skull. Kip attacked that as well. In the chaos, Naldo shot and the Baron attacked Otricart. Ximén's brain creature attacked Kip's wolf, and the remaining dragons blasted away and scraped away at Galela and others. Otricart did some type of mind attack on Mattias, dropping him and making him writhe in pain. Galela took down another dragon, then cut Ximén's brain creature in half. Kip took out the last dragon, and finally Balder bashed Otricart from his shoulder straight down through his body, then smashed his face with another blow. The battle mostly over, the original party members heard Vaditas von Dracunis in their heads. He apologized. He said, "He never should have trusted Otricart," indicating, "I didn't know what happened to Ximén." And he offered them free dinner at any restaurant in town. In the lobby of Dracunis Term, we rejoin the party. Welcome back, Champions of the Sun. I wish you good times, great rolls, and happy adventuring. You are in the lobby of Dracunis Term. The guards are standing where they are. You just heard Vaditas von Dracunis' voice in your head saying, "I am so sincerely sorry that happened. I had no idea that Otricart was some type of hideous form. Had I known that, I never would have allowed that. Oh, please forgive me. I'm going to go and cry in a corner someplace. Let me pull myself back together. What are you guys doing?
Does anyone even actually believe this spiel?
I mean, free dinner.
What are you talking about? What was that look on your faces? It was like you were listening to something. What were you listening to?
That was Veritas.
It was in your
He
head?
says he did not know
Yes.
In your
about the
head.
horrible tentacled brain-eating creature in his service.
He was in your head?
No.
I think it was. He was in your head. No. You're lying to me, I can tell.
He was?
It was
Yes, it was
in
in
all of
our
the
heads.
original Champions of the Sun.
Yeah.
In their heads, they heard Veritas speaking with them. Not out loud, but in their heads. You're standing there. The guards are at the glass doors that have a broken lock
Yeah.
in between the two doors closest to me that both bend outward.
I think,
The guards step forward and they open the doors, push the figures outside. They open the doors and they're holding the doors open on either side for you.
we should go. We should take Ximén's body. And we should go. And I'll move over to Ximén's body
Sounds good to me.
to try to pick him up. I probably can't do it alone. Or struggling.
You grab the ankles, I'll grab the wrists.
Okay. There's a handle right here in the back of the head.
I don't think there's that much head left.
All right, we'll pick Ximén up.
You reach down to pick him up, and as you do pick him up, you've been around death and seen humans and humanoids and other creatures perish, and you know that blood is slick and somewhat viscous and watery, and it takes a while, but eventually it congeals slowly over time. But you notice as you reach down, you get some of the blood that exploded from the back of his head onto you. The blood feels unusually viscous, almost like, to use a little bit of meta, almost like super glue on your fingers. As it dribbles out, you feel as though, and I hate to put feelings in you, but you feel as though you don't want to put your fingers together for fear that they're going to stick together on him. Or stick together in general.
Try to avoid the blood. It is really sticky, and I don't know personally. Kip wouldn't know what bitumen is like, but it's not bitumen, right? This is just goo or
No, it's blood.
It's
It is
blood.
definitely
Okay,
blood. It
okay.
looks like blood.
Yeah.
But there's something unusual in its viscous nature, in that it seems like it flows and then it wants to congeal. Once it's exposed for a period of time, like it wants to congeal much quicker.
Mm-hmm. Kind of hold it up and be like, should we burn this?
Your hand?
No, the this, and it's like all stuck to my hand like tar, but not quite.
Well, why did you pick it up in the first place?
It was on his body. You just picked up his legs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This was all,
Yeah, well, I
it's
went
all
for the
over.
part that was a lot less
Yes, it was-
bloody. I looked first.
Yeah.
I chose the legs for myself
Yeah.
because they were the cleanest.
You are the businessman.
And I gave you
I am the hunter.
the top section, which doesn't look so good.
Yes.
Do you think that brain thing was always inside your friend?
I think he had a brain.
Was it that
He
brain?
was smart. I mean, do you think it was?
Was it that brain?
Do you think
No, that's definitely
that
something.
was Ximén?
Definitely something they did to him.
Was that Joe? Or whatever
I've
the
heard
name
of
was
lots of
inside
weird
him?
things. I've never heard of anything like that.
All right, we gotta take Ximén though.
Alright.
So there's Joe.
Well, you're already sticky. You might as well get on with it.
I'm
Let's go.
afraid to get stuck to him, though.
Yeah, we'll unstick you. Don't worry.
So currently everything is out of the room.
Oh, the dragons that you see start to almost kind of like deteriorate very quickly. They just kind of decompose in front of you. The brain-like creature is laying there in a pool of blood. It seems to have... You look at it and it seems like, how did this brain-like creature fit inside that skull? It's almost like it was somehow compressed as it was in there.
Like those towels that fit in the pocket size.
Ochakart is laying on the floor in his hideous form. He still has the gold medallion around him with a large sunburst.
I think Brian at least tried to take it. I think that's where we ended.
Okay. I mean, well,
yeah.
Okay, one of you goes over and Brian, the Baron grabs the medallion off of him and pops it off.
Oh, does Ochakart have like a robe or a cloak or something that Kip could take?
Yes, he has a what you see there. It's kind of a black robe with a fur lining, a dark gray fur lining around the edges of it.
Okay, Kip's gonna take
and
and, like,
a
throw
large
that on.
floppy hat.
Is there any other cloth that Kip might be able to take and use for Zymon's body? That's what he's looking for. Like a
well, there is a guard laying.
Use this.
It's gonna use it, but it sounded really nice. So I took it.
There's a guard laying on the floor who has a cape. A quick glance around. Ximén has a cape on him.
Yeah, we'll take the guard's cape, and I'll come back over and kind of slide that under Ximén, and
Yeah, I'll help you.
try to have you take the other end, and
Okay,
and we'll kind of pick him up, try to avoid more blood getting on me as well. In my nice new Ochakart cape.
I would like, before we do that, I'd just like to pat down Ochakart and see if he has any like keys or anything on him that might open any doors anywhere.
Phone bills.
Yes, he has a small card on him. He attached to like a small chain. He has a little white card.
Brains.
Have you seen this before? Do you know what this does?
That is the card for opening the rooms, elevator.
We
Take that.
take
Yeah,
that.
we should talk that
we
outside.
need it. We
I'll
got
take
our
this.
main goal right now is we have to find Veritas.
Veritas is up
Yeah.
upstairs.
It's either we go to him or we get him to come to us.
I think we should. I think we should regroup first.
I agree.
Let's take your friend's body out of here at least.
Regroup.
You guys are silently working
We have to
together.
take him out.
Yes, he's got a fair point.
You want him to make more soldiers?
What?
With this crazy brain thing? We need to kill this man now.
I don't think this tower is the place
for
to
that. Yeah, we need.
kill him.
Well, how do we get him out of this tower?
We destroy his factory. He comes to us.
Do we
Get him out of his place of power.
Say that here in the lobby.
I assume you guys are kind of huddled with the body,
yes. Take the body.
whispering to one
carrying the body.
another.
Yeah, like as we're walking out.
Yeah.
All right, at the sound of destroying the factory, I'll kind of reluctantly go with him. I'm like, all right. 'Cause we got
You
I feel like I
guys do
should
what you
roll
want to
to
do,
see
but
if
I
I
assume you're
drop
not
Simon.
shouting this out loud.
No. I feel like I should roll to see if I drop Simon.
Let's just go.
Come down here.
Let's just go. Let's go.
You guys venture out.
I guess so.
You venture outside, and the music of the outside slowly dissipates, and you find yourselves out in the streets of Amsterdam.
I was about to just sprint up the stairs. 80 floors. 80 floors? The whole way up.
You
Like a
have
Monty
3 levels of exhaustion.
Python.
You are outside. It is nighttime in the narrow streets of Amsterdam. Tall, narrow buildings lean in on either side. It's dark. There's like a low scud layer of clouds hanging down at the top of the buildings.
Where do we go with this?
Where are you going?
We'll put Ximén in the beer cellar.
Where's your cart? Maybe put them in your cart.
Oh yeah, my cart's outside
And
somewhere.
maybe we could take your
Take
cart
that.
back to the graveyard that we met the Baron in.
Isn't the cart in the factory?
It
Still?
is in
I
the...
thought it was around the tower.
No, it's
in
near.
the
It's
fence.
in
It's
the
in the courtyard
confines
of the factory.
of the bitumen refinery right
We have to go
now.
there anyway.
Yeah.
He said you could. He would take it wherever you wanted it, but
Yeah.
you
Yeah, we left
didn't
it there.
indicate anything, so we left it there.
Hold on.
Yeah, so-
I've been in the city for a couple weeks. Have I noticed any, for lack of a better word, like mortuary services? Anybody that like takes care of the dead, or would just going to a church be the more apropos thing for?
You've been in the city, as you said, for a few weeks, and you remember that outside of the city was a cemetery. It's outside of the suburbs, for want of a better way
Is that
of
where we
putting
met the
it.
Baron, or is it?
And that is where
Oh,
you
okay.
met the Baron. There are several churches in town, but you also know that it's late at night, and the likelihood of them being...
I always thought Ximén would burst into flames if he ever perished. This is much messier.
Yes.
Thought he would ignite? What kind of man was this?
He was a very fiery wizard. Figured he was very combustible.
Taking
blew
Ximén,
everything else up.
Is Ximán's books, or are there still material on Ximén, or was that taken by Ultra Card? Like anything? Does anything look out of the ordinary besides no brain, half of his skull gone?
So, are you laying him in the street?
That's a good question. No,
Or what are
no,
you
not yet.
doing?
We are still carrying him. That's a good point.
Yeah, let's
We'll do this when we find a place to rest him.
like maybe a stable or something. Like I don't think an inn's gonna like
Nope.
let us bring a dead body.
Weekend at Bernie's. No, yeah.
Bring him to the cemetery.
Yeah, I mean we could just walk back out to the Baron's his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either that or the cart.
I would assume, he's not here to say any otherwise, but I would
Maybe
assume
those-
he has something to store a body.
Maybe Rob and
And
Bob.
it is a cemetery.
Maybe Rob and Bob can help us.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe the cart for now, so we can go to the factory. We have to go there anyway.
You think they're just gonna let us into the factory to get the car?
Yeah, I think we need to.
Who's
be
informed them right now? Ultra
Well,
Card's
maybe.
gone. The other guy's crying, and we came to get our car.
Can't hurt to try.
We have a pass, the key, or the card, maybe. That could be used as leverage to say, hey, we have permission to come.
Okay.
We could try.
If this cost means that much to you, let's get the cost.
Okay. You have a plan to blow a factory up right now? We could do both.
That's what I'm saying.
We could two birds, one
We're
stone.
there. We have to go there anyway.
That is why I enlisted the champions of the sun to help me.
So zero plan. How does that help?
Well, the plan is to blow up the factory.
Okay. So our assistance is doing all of it for you.
I will lend my prowess with the sword.
I mean, he is carrying Ximén.
Do we have any idea how we blow?
I helped
stuff
you
up?
get his body back, did I not?
No.
So, as we're walking, I guess we're still talking about this, but
Well,
the
we
bitumen
know,
becomes
yeah.
explosive when
magic
it's
is
void of
removed.
magic.
Yeah.
Right. So we need a way to remove magic if we
The
want.
weakest spot in the whole factory is the main refinery in that building.
Which I cannot go near.
Yes. All magic is removed from that one area as it's poured into the barrels.
How
So that
how
would
does
be-
one remove magic? How did you cause the fire?
Cause what fire?
Wasn't there a fire that you caused with the bitumen explosion? Large?
No, we didn't do that.
Well, how did that happen?
We don't know.
I thought that was us.
it
I
just
just figured
exploded.
explosion. That was us.
It just exploded. Somebody figured out how to remove the
I
magic.
see.
You were responsible for that?
That's
We
what I
were
thought.
there. Responsible, no. We were there.
I'm beginning to question whether
It was not
I
us.
have employed the
Trust me,
residential.
at this point, I wish it was me, because then
So-
I'd know how to blow the rest of it up.
So the plan was to blow the factory up by removing magic, by which we do not know how to do and had no means of doing.
No. All we know is that certain parts of the factory already have the magic removed, thus the weak point where we could blow it up.
Right.
believe the Baron said that he might be able to do something with the magic.
Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go get the cart.
You're moving through the streets. Ximén has the legs wrapped under his arm. You're talking back and forth. How do we blow up the building? Is the body nonchalantly
Nothing's here, folks.
is being carried through the streets, getting soaking wet at the same time.
Dan, they've seen weirder stuff.
Yes. Several people glance and just keep moving along.
The peat got him. It's the peat. He inhaled so much peat.
It's not far from the tower. It's literally only a couple blocks to the bitumen refinery.
Stop harvesting that stuff.
You're at the front of the bitumen refinery. There are two large gates at the front of the refinery. On either side of it is a tower on the inside. And then slightly farther away, further out on either side, is another tower. And then beyond that, it looks like there's an alley going back with the wall continuing back toward the water. You are at the large set of gates right now. You look up on the walls and you see a couple cats looking down at you.
Oh, the cats. There's no guards, no soldiers?
You don't see any.
Alright, I mean, if you guys want to hang back a second, I'll go check out the gate.
Sure, here's the card.
And I'll walk up to the gate, see if I can open it.
The gate does not open on its own.
I'll wave my hand in front of it.
You wave your hand in front of the gate. You see a couple of cats looking down at you. You see a figure appear in the tower and kind of looking down at you. And he says to you in Germanic and Dutch, "Can I help you?"
Yes, I'm here to pick up my cart. Veritas said he was keeping it here.
Who are you?
I am Balder, from the Champions of the Sun.
Hold on.
Damn cats.
I look back at them.
Cats are everywhere.
A few minutes go by.
I'm just watching the cats. I don't like those cats.
The gates start to slowly open outward, and
Put my hand on my sword.
this guard, much like the other guards you've seen inside the Draconis term, steps out. He's got his hood up over his helmet, and he walks up to you and he goes, he kind of looks you up and down and he goes, yes, it's right here. He guides you inside, and your cart has been brought up right to the inside of the gate with a horse, your horse, attached to it.
Alright. I will take my cart.
Put Simon and put him in the cart.
Sure. I don't want your hands
they
getting
don't-
any more sticky.
How many people are around me? They
I don't know if I can
seem
let him
to-
go.
There's just the one guard standing there. You see quite a few cats hovering around.
Okay.
We're inside.
With the
Trojan horse.
I mean, we don't have to go out to the cemetery now. We can just leave him in the cars, right?
We could, yes. Although I think the Baron wants him in the cemetery.
How do we blow it up?
I think if we make a move on the guards, it has to be now.
Anyone know fire spells?
I don't know spells. I think this guy knew the fire spells. He's right here.
What about flaming arrows?
No, not a thing.
Is everything all right?
Yes. I'm just making sure things are in order. And I don't know, what do you guys want to do? We taking the cart and going?
Yeah, let's go
right.
away from these cats.
Alright.
All right. Yeah, we'll take him to the cemetery. I guess that was a bust.
I'll mount up on the horse.
Yep, I'll climb back in the car with the body in the back.
And we're
And
off
now
to
I'll
the
investigate the body.
And we're off to the cemetery.
You ride out of town, and thank Pumpkin for the sound effects.
Yeah, good time.
Good timing.
Impeccable.
You ride through the narrow streets of Amsterdam, and you get to the gate that you went out once before, and it's not a huge wide gate. So your cart does fit, but you realize now that it's a pretty snug fit to get this cart in and out of this narrow archway. Wasn't meant for large, gigantic merchant type carts. You go out, and initially you're out in the relatively nice portion of the suburbia, and then as you go further away from the walls of the city, you go back through that area that you were in the other night, where you passed the tavern where you sat down with Naldo and the others, and eventually you're on a raised platform but a raised area of roadway cutting through the swamps. The lights of the city are starting to disappear in the fog behind you. The Baron points out, up over here, or however he says it. Off to the side is his mausoleum where he was hunkered down once before. And you quickly know that there's no way this cart is going to dive down into the swamp.
No.
I mean, you can park it on the side of the road if you wanted. But
leave it wherever necessary.
You get to about where you descended off the road down into the swamp and over toward where you met the Baron. And it's relatively level. There's enough room just barely enough room for two carts to go past one another, so you could leave it on one side of the road and allow another if there is other traffic. But you don't see, there's no other traffic right now. It's wet, it's raining, it's nighttime. What are you guys doing?
What is the plan here?
We'll bring him into the crypt. We'll let the Baron do his thing.
Well, yeah, we'll tuck Simon away, but...
Yeah.
Did you find what you were looking for when you were rifling through your dead friend's pockets?
I don't know. I was looking... He had a book that was important to him.
Well, I mean, most wizards have a book. That's why
Well,
they do all the
no,
wizard stuff.
you don't understand. This book was
Yes.
in the wrong hands. It could be disastrous.
Oh.
And he didn't have it on him?
I don't know. Rummage through Ximén to see if he had his books with him.
You unload him from the cart. It takes the two of you, and you descend down this slippery slope into the swamp. And you're at this point with the rain, you're up to somewhere between your ankles and your knees, and occasionally dipping down a little bit further as you wade your way toward the mausoleums and toward the graves where some of them were sinking into the muck and mire. Up ahead, you see two figures
floating up.
moving around. They seem to be tending nothingness as these two apparitional kind of corpse-like figures are moving around. You eventually make your way toward the mausoleum where you met the Baron, and the door is still slightly ajar. You go inside. It's raining. The mausoleum is as unpleasant as it is. It's a respite from being out in the rain. On either side of this stone structure, there's like a stone bed, for want of a better word, on either side of it for putting bodies that the Baron was using as tables and a bed and what have you. You bring Ximén's corpse in and you lay him down on it, and you start to go through his body, examining it. I mean, you're just rummaging around in it, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine the books, I don't know for sure, but I imagine the books were relatively decent size, so you probably have them in a pack or on his body.
They would have been in a backpack or something.
Yeah, so just mostly looking for the book or books, but if there's anything else that looks like maybe it would be a shame.
Guests, I don't know, we had a room, I don't know, what we were leaving in the room.
What we left in the room, or whether he took it or not. Just it's important to know whether or not the book is in the wrong hands. And obviously, if there's anything else that's on him that probably shouldn't be buried, that would make sense. Gold,
Gold.
Lots of gold.
magical trinkets, objects.
Got none of that.
You
This is
start
now
to
the second dead ally that I'm going through their stuff.
Your curse.
Yes.
Scavenger.
You start to go through the body, and on the body, the first thing you see underneath the guard's cloak, the first thing that you see, you very, very quickly make out the distinct hooded cloak that Ximén always wore, with vertical ochre, yellow, and dark red stripes on one side, and black. And you open it up, and you probably didn't see it that often, but you open up the cape and you see on the inside he had emblazoned, and Kip probably had never seen it. Emblazoned on the inside of it is a large golden sun with 6 rays pointing outwards from it. There's a little bit of blood on it, but it's in reasonably okay shape. I mean, his primary wound was a head wound. Going through the rest of his equipment and stuff, you find a wolfskin cloak. And Balder and Mattias recall that Borinth made that cloak for Ximén. On his hip, there's a dagger, a very, very fine quality. Just at a quick glance, you guess that it was probably a family heirloom of some sort. In his boot, his well-worn boots from trudging through the Alps and trudging across all of these lands, there's another dagger in his boot. This one's more utilitarian. You go through, you find a pouch, and in that pouch you find a crystal orb, a small, almost like a bauble of some sort. On his hand he has a signet ring. In another pouch you find a pearl. A very, very large pearl. Clearly of some value. And it almost looks like perhaps it came from a piece of jewelry or something. In that same pouch, there's another small bag of dust. You pick it up, you don't recognize it, but it's some kind of fine crystalline dust. Digging further through some items, you find 13 gold, 8 silver, and a little note with the money. That it appears as though it's like different values of money that had been collected, and almost like in frustration, a certain amount had been crossed out, and it just says, Balder handles the money. But there are 13 gold there and 8 silver. There's a book, and it's quite unusual. You look at it, and it shows some picture of some pieces of rope kind of emblazoned on it. And flipping through it, you realize it's a book on how to tie knots. Weird. There's rope, rations, and a water skin. And there's the big book that he referred to when he was standing there in the lobby. This large tome with a leather strap around it and a large, almost like brass or metal edging for the edges of it. It's a big, thick book.
Does it look like the book that he had shown me?
The book that he had shown you in the lobby, or the book that
no,
previously?
yeah.
No, it does
It's a different
not.
book then.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'll pull the book out and I'll say, this was the only book on him. I'll hand it to Balder. The other book is gone.
Well, even more reason to get back to Veritas.
Yes. All right. There are some items here that have some value, but some other items might have some more value to his family. Or does anybody know if he had family? Or this dagger should probably be returned home. And I don't know. His the ring and there's a pearl in here, and his cloak. He's got. We can bury him in this. Maybe clean some blood off. This notice for you, Balder. Balder handled the money.
Just it'll put a grin to my face, and I'll just kind of keep it.
And I'll hand you the 13 gold and the 8 silver, and this is his way of paying you back.
Let me add it in here.
I guess I'll hang on to the dagger for now, and the pouch with the orb and the signet ring. I don't know what they mean, but maybe if we see his family, we can give them to his family. And I'll try to scrub off some of this blood, maybe off of my hand predominantly, and then if I find any success there, maybe I move to his cloak.
You go and you realize that kind of almost like an epoxy, it's going to take a while to get it off. But it dried. Your fingers didn't get glued together. You kept them apart. But it dried. You handed him the large book?
He has
You have the large book. It has a large strap around it. Okay.
What's in the book?
What are you doing? You're opening the book?
Oh, no. I jumped.
I don't know what it is.
Why do you think I gave it to him? I wasn't going to do it.
I don't know what it is. I opened it up.
Good.
Was I not supposed to open it?
I don't know. We'll see how fast it hits your face.
All right.
As you open the book, you're initially struck that it appears, at a quick glance, you take this large strap off and you open it up, and you recall Ximén pointing out to you in the lobby. He said to you, look, it's empty. And
Right.
the pages were empty at that time. And as you're holding it, though, and you flip through the book, the pages.
Lots of note taking.
I'm ready.
Okay. The pages start to glow in a warm light. It's almost like an amber light that it gives off, and inside the mausoleum, and it feels warm, almost welcoming the light. As the page illuminates, fine dark brown cursive writing starts to appear on the page. It says, "Champions, brothers at arms, friends, I have fallen. I have passed into the weave. Maybe my soul resides in that treacherous tome. Let me assure you, though, the pleasure was all mine. The things that I have seen and done are enough for several lifetimes. I thank you for letting me stand by your side. Matthias,
Hello.
years ago, you found me half frozen, near death in an alpine pass.
I remember.
Instead of bringing me to a fair lodging, you brought me into battle.
Yes, well, I did anticipate that.
I've always felt our nobility bound us in some unseen manner. I have but one more quest, if you will accept it. For you, please return the pearl that I stole from my love, Miriam Helencourt. Her family resides in Lyon. Let her know the weight of my crime against her never left my mind, and my love for her was always true. Matthias, if you would, take my cloak. It would be an honor for you to wear my family colors. Borinth, wherever you are, although we may have gotten off to a rocky start, I consider you a brother and my closest friend. One that has roused me from near death. Perhaps you did not slap me hard enough. May be buried among my ancestors. Have the champions regale my brothers with my deeds. Return the knife that my father gave me, and let him know that it struck true. Most of all, tell my mother that I love her. And thank her for the path she set me on. And thank her for the path that led me to all of you. To the champions of the sun. Borinth, if I see you again, please take my spyglass so that you may see the enemy before you. Balder, I still don't approve of the way you do magic. No, not at all. marvel at your command of it. Even in my state, I know it, I sense it's not on me, but if you have my spellbook, or if you find my spellbook, please, it is yours. May it make you a proper wizard someday. When all of this is over, perhaps more importantly, I leave you all my notes on the weapon we seek to create in the book that most likely contains the rest of the clues, and maybe it contains my soul, my being. As the smartest one left in this group, it is left to you to solve these riddles. Champions, I hope mine was a valiant death. If it was not, please be sure to describe it that way. I demand you use whatever gold and treasure I have, and whatever Balder will spare for my part, to drink in my honor, until not a copper piece is left. Be well, my friends. I will see you again. Ximén. As you read it, the script slowly fades. And as the script disappears, the light seems to coalesce into the book and slowly disappear.
I will hand Matthias the pearl.
I will start pouring cups of ale from my little thing we stole from that place. Start handing out ale to everybody.
We'll need to try. We'll need to hang on to his cloak. How will we get his remains to his family?
We might have to keep him in the crypt for now.
Yes.
And arrange passage later for that.
I will look for the spyglass and these notes to see if they are there, because I did not see them on first pass.
You rummage further through his body.
And I will take off his cloak and fold it neatly and put it to the side as well.
And you find what I described to you.
Okay. As I'm folding his cloak and just patting it down one last time, did you read that out loud? Okay.
You heard it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, it had audio. I thought I was just reading it.
Ximén mentioned a spyglass for Borinth and some notes on the book and the weapon. Those do not appear to be here, so they were taken as well.
Yes. Veritas.
So the things that he had that were magic were kept.
Yeah, Veritas isn't stupid. He knows what he's doing. And if he's got information on the demon killer, we can't let him keep that.
That's true. What is a demon killer?
It is a weapon we are crafting to defeat a very powerful vampire. And any information on that weapon in his hands is not good.
Oh. Okay. Sure.
Yes.
Sounds good.
It's quite cool. It's quite cool. And I'll hand out all the ale to everybody to toast Ximén.
I do not know him, but
We'll drink anyway.
To your friend.
Kalela and the Baron both raised their mugs, even though the Baron hardly knew him. You're in the mausoleum. You're watching the Carpathian adventure on 7-Sided Die, and we will be right back.
My name is Jumnus Dawnflower. I used to be a merchant sailor until I was shipwrecked on a strange island and killed in a sacrificial blood ritual. In the moment between life and death, an otherworldly goddess of light came to me, offering me a second chance at life if I swore to enact her will upon the world. Now I travel with the champions of the sun, looking to right wrongs, vanquish evil, and earn the new life I've been given.
Aha! Hello, friends! You can call me Louvier Moreau. I come from the beautiful country of France, of course! Traveling as a salesman, banished from my home, where by the hand of my twisted sister, my father was killed, and I was implicated. Mon Dieu, how low I've come. But in that low, I found the champions of the sun. Although they may not smell like sweet wine, they are honorable. Mostly.
My name is Virexin. I am a monk who was exiled into Greece after fleeing my homeland. I was sent on a quest via a dream I received. I went in search of great heroes I saw in the dream to help stop some monstrosity from wreaking havoc across the world. I found those heroes in the champions of the sun. Now I strive to gain their trust so they can one day help me defeat the vile beast that threatens everything.
I'm Aldrich, and while I grew up an urchin in the narrow confines of Venice, I never seemed to fit in there. Except for this music box, my past is hidden to me. Now north of the Alps, I feel I'm close to home, wherever that might be. Near the Untersberg mountain, I discovered these intrepid adventurers. Though they're blazing a dangerous path, perhaps they might help me discover who I really am.
I am Mikolash, a monk from Romania, and sometimes too curious for my own good. My scars tell only part of the tale. Having witnessed cannibalism in my village, as a child I fled, never to return. On my own, I stole from others to survive. A monk caught me and offered me a better way, but I abused their kindness. Now I walk alongside the champions of the sun. Will they be my own undoing? Or have I finally found the path I was meant for?
I am Borinth, the Cave Bear. I come from a tribe of barbarians that once lived in the mountains of the Badenweiler. While on my sacred spirit quest, my tribe and family were attacked with none left alive. I now seek the power to avenge my people. With my rage, I grow stronger, and with the champions of the sun, I seek a path to restore and preserve my people's culture and rid this world of any evil that stands in my way.
From the kingdom of Aragon, I am Ximén Val. I ventured forth with few possessions and little coin, save an ancient tomb I searched to decipher. But I've struggled to find clues, and at times, food. While freezing in the Alps, fate crossed my path with a shining knight and the champions of the sun. Having aided me in a desperate time, they have earned my service and my friendship. Now, using my wizardry, I fight by their side.
Welcome back. You're watching the Carpathian Adventure on 7-Sided Die. The party is in a cemetery in a swamp outside a fantasy version of Amsterdam. It is pouring rain. It is night. On one of the platforms inside the mausoleum that they are momentarily staying in to get out of the rain, they have the corpse of their fallen compatriot, Ximén, and we rejoin the party.
So, I guess you guys are all in there?
Yeah, it's raining outside.
Okay.
Who wants to stand outside?
So the Baron will walk in with his two helpers, guys, like undead servants, carrying a large coffin, a wooden coffin, and carry it in, just place it on one of the stone tables that are there, close to the body. I see you have laid him out for me. I wish to do a quick autopsy before I prepare the body to be sent back home. I mean, he is a noble from what I've gathered so far. He should be laid to rest where his family name exists.
That was his request.
His brain jumped out of his skull. I think that's your autopsy.
I do not believe that it was his brain. Not very many brains that I've ever seen had legs.
I won't disagree. Let me rephrase. A brain jumped out of his skull. I think that's your autopsy. The blood, however, is congealed and extremely viscous and sticky and very fast.
The body may give us clues as to what we are dealing with entirely.
You do appear to be the expert.
I suggest, if you are unfamiliar with such the processes, you may want to not witness this for your friend. I have not known him very long, but you may not want to watch this.
I didn't know him at all, so. But I don't want to watch anyway, because that's kind of gross.
Yes, I will make sure everything that is
But do what you gotta do.
supposed to be taken is taken, and then I will.
If you can, please get a fire started over near the cooking area. And I'll point out like the stone area where there's
Get
like
that stew going again?
That's gonna turn the boulders.
Well, no, good.
Is he gonna eat it?
I hope not.
I mean,
All right, we'll start the fire.
While they're doing that,
Does he do that?
Baron, I'm gonna do a basic like autopsy on him, like try to see if I can figure out how he would have died, exactly if there's any other things that stand out to me, like what
Wounds. Stuff like that.
wounds, examine the blood before I do anything else, like before I alter the body in any other way.
You disrobe him, dignified, but disrobe him, and you examine the body. And you note multiple wounds over the body, and that's not atypical for an adventurer. The vast majority of the wounds, though, had been healed for quite a while. As you turn him over, you see several almost like large lamprey eel type suction wounds on his back, as if something had reached around and jabbed into him. The wounds have been healed, but they've been freshly healed, as if someone had just cast some type of magic to cause it to heal over. But it doesn't have that look of time, of a scar having slowly faded by any stretch of the imagination. It's healed, but it's not gone. You move your way up the body toward the head, and you can see where the back of the head literally exploded. As you carefully examine it, you can see that it looks also as though the tissue where it had been exploded open, the tissue had been recently healed as well, as if some type of trauma happened to the head and then was healed. And as you look at it, you see that there are fresh chunks of skull that are broken away, but at the same time there is a large section where there should be pieces of skull there, but it looks like they were gone and then it was healed over. And then there was the subsequent explosion where something
that we witnessed,
witnessed emerged from his head. There's still a lot of blood. I mean, a tremendous amount of blood. And as you start to tilt him, you notice that the blood is still very liquid-like until it gets exposed to air, and then it starts to very, very quickly congeal.
Okay.
The blood is slightly more viscous than normal blood.
Okay.
You put it on your fingers or via a glove or something, and it almost feels like glue.
Okay.
And you have to quickly wipe your fingers and keep your fingers apart so that they don't stick together. And to use a meta analogy, almost like a super glue.
Right.
So while it's contained, it stays in a somewhat liquid form, but as it's exposed to air, it starts to congeal and solidify.
Does it seem toxic in any way to me? Like just by testing it, or?
Doesn't seem in any way unusual to you.
Okay. Does anyone want to see what I believe may have occurred here? Do you wish to see the evidence?
Sure.
So I'll bring everybody over. You see these marks here. I believe that his brain was removed from his body and replaced.
That would explain why the creature looked like one.
It was replaced with some sort of creature that attached itself to his central spinal column here and took control of the body. The wounds were healed magically within the body. I do not believe that was his brain that leaped out. It was replaced. I believe his brain was removed.
I like the inside bits on the inside. No, right outside.
Tell me about the blood. What do you think about the blood?
As long as the blood is contained within the body, it flows freely. But once it is removed, it turns into a different consistency. I do not believe it to be his blood. I believe it has either been altered or it has been replaced.
Is it dangerous?
I do not think that it is dangerous at this point.
Oh, sorry.
However,
Do you think we can use it for anything?
I do believe there are...
Bottle it up.
Would I have seen or heard anything like this? Like, have I, like, maybe in my time, like, would I know that what type of organism could do this to him?
No, no, it seems very unusual to you.
Okay. It is not normal decomposition that I see occurring here. He has been healed as though he was alive at the time that he was killed again. I do believe that he was not an undead creature at the time. He was a living organism.
But he was not Simon.
But he was no longer himself. His soul had vanished at the moment that his brain was removed from his body.
So Kip size a relief again. He's not responsible.
Yeah. I can continue, and I do not believe I will find out any more from the body, but I can begin to prepare the body for transportation, but it will take some time. We can leave it be as the process continues.
Well, we should probably leave it be and come up with some kind of plan for what we're going to do.
That is good. You come up with the plan, and I will continue my work here.
Well, our plan currently is to blow up the factory. We don't know how. Bring Veritas down. Kill Veritas, which we don't know how. And if that fails, to bring him down, go up to the tower and kill Veritas, of which we don't know how we're going to do that. So that is our plan currently.
I just want to storm the tower. I'll kill him up there.
Storm the tower.
I have a question, Tom.
Yes.
So when I'm going to do this preparation of this body, I'm limited in how much I know about it, but I know there's some boiling involved. But is the body have to be taken apart first?
Well, I mean, you roleplay it as how you want to roleplay it.
Okay. Okay.
But
do you have a thought he can fit in?
You suspect that you have to somehow boil. I mean, Tom would say, but you play it how you want. Tom would say, if I were in Brian's shoes, I would say I have to boil the whole body.
Right.
And the only way to boil the whole body, if I don't have a big enough pot.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I was thinking. Gotcha.
Is to maybe approach it from a different direction.
Okay.
You need us to steal you a bathtub.
And the Baron will be like,
there's a gold one.
For these occasions, I have some barrels out back. They're full of vinegar. If you can bring them in and fill up these large containers I have here with the vinegar, and we will put it on the fire.
Sure.
And I'll have my workers, I'll instruct
Is this for
my
dinner?
workers to come.
Is this for something for dinner?
No, this is in preparation of the body to be sent out.
Dinner's going to be very fancy.
This will take some time.
Veritas.
And
I think we're past dinner, right?
I recommend
It's
you
pretty
may,
late at night.
this next step, you may not be hungry afterwards. And if you guys start to go, I'm going to take out a big old cleaver and I'm going to start dismembering the body in pieces.
Nice. You'll be all right. Come on.
I put on
Let's go get the vinegar.
Butcher's type.
You put on a large butcher's covering, and you're starting to cleaver. And among your apparatus, you realize that the cleaver is not going to get through the bone. And at some point, you've got to, just pull out the saw and start hacking away at the.
Picks up the saw, lightning
I mean,
strikes.
the Baron has done this before. It's not like a new. He's familiar with the process, right? So,
the rest of you are sitting there, and you hear the grinding of his saw.
Okay, let's get the vinegar and then I'm going back to the cart.
Yeah, let's go get the vinegar.
What's in the cart?
All kinds of stuff.
Anything to blow up a factory?
No, probably not.
I can dispel the containers containing the bitumen.
I could turn the factory's hair blue. There's a lot of ale in there.
What I'm wondering is if I dispel a barrel of bitumen within the other barrels of bitumen. If one barrel explodes, will they all explode?
I don't think so.
We don't know, but
He's
it's
talking
worth a
and
try.
like bones flying and chips.
I'm just going. Hold this.
God. Simon.
So I
I'm
think
so sorry.
Sure.
I'm so sorry, Simon.
My plan from when we did the factory was the main refinery is the only thing we're going to be able to blow up. That there's no magic there. It's currently being distilled and poured into barrels, and that whole area can be ignited.
So when there's no magic, the bitumen is explosive. It's volatile, right?
Yep.
So I think that crane thing that was moving things and moving around was running on bitumen. That's why
It was using the combustion of it in order to make it move, make it like a machine, right?
I mean, if that's the case,
so that's why there's no. That's why magic is dispelled there.
And if that's the case, when we blow up that main refinery, any other area around that is having no magic will ignite as well. But
the question is, how does it work? I don't know. How do I dispel air? Because it's the air around it that needs to be dispelled. It's not. I don't know if it's the barrel that's magical or the air surrounding it. I never
have any
understood
way
that
of
part.
knowing but testing it.
Right. Yeah.
Like I said, the main refinery has dispelled magic. We can blow at least that up. I don't know if it'll blow the whole building up.
Right.
But that's a lot in that tank. And I imagine going off of the town previously that only had a few barrels outside of the building, and it blew up half the town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure blowing up thousands of gallons in that main tank is taking it all out.
And how do we do that without taking us with it?
How do we get in?
We send
How do we
in.
get out
we
when it's
send,
blowing up?
We send in our
What about
a
the
familiar.
cats?
We send in a familiar.
Now, though, you said that you had information about the underground tunnel into the.
Well, I suspect there is one. I have not found it.
I did notice
I think
that
it goes maybe from the tower.
The more
there
this
was
guy
a
talks.
discussion about stairs instead of the lift.
Yeah.
There
yeah.
was stairs.
Well,
Perhaps
I mean,
they
we
go
could
down.
try to get back in the tower and go from the tower over. Maybe there's another entrance somewhere in between.
Whatever we do, we need to do this now.
I agree.
So
We're
I'm gonna
wasting
get the Baron's gonna get the vinegar on the fire. He's gonna start bringing it up to a boil, and as it's sitting on the fire, I'm gonna start dropping body parts into the vats of vinegar that are on the fire. And, this will take several hours to finish.
Well, in the meantime, let's go.
This is what they do to royal people. I'm glad I'm not a
We
royal
shall
person.
prepare the body with
Just put me in the
reconstruct.
dirt, man. Don't cut me up and put me in a barrel.
What
No
I shall
way.
do is I shall reconstruct the body in the casket. We will reconstruct the bones of the body, and they will not decompose as rapidly.
Yeah.
And then we will
yeah.
send the body back with it as artifacts. back.
It seems better
Personal
just to be
belongings.
like in the ground.
He will be, but he belongs back at his home country to be in the ground.
I agree with that.
He was a champion of the sun. He should be treated as a hero.
Yes.
All right.
I do have a question. There is a book that he.
No, it's gone.
Veritas has it.
Which makes sense. He collected artifacts,
Veritas.
powerful artifacts. So wherever the book may be, there may be other
I
magical
think Veritas
artifacts.
also took anything magical he had on him
Veritas
as well.
took the book, the spyglass that he had, and notes on the weapon that we were looking for.
We need it back.
I believe we may have to go into the tower to get these.
That was an option to storm the tower. But we also thought drawing Veritas out of the tower could be advantageous by blowing up the factory and then going into the tower.
And the chaos of the situation of the factory story may make it possible to get into the tower. Because they would
Maybe
will
we
be.
could take the passage back to the tower.
Do we fight Veritas at the
This is why I got
factory?
the champions of the sun to help me with the refinery.
I say we go and start killing some cats.
Do we if Veritas comes
I
down to
don't
the factory,
think
do
the
we fight him there?
cats-
What?
If Veritas comes down to the factory, do we fight him there?
I do not believe he will. I believe we will see his minions, and maybe perhaps his dragon, or we will see.
See, now that is dragons.
You can still
Are
back
you-
out.
Okay.
Can we just
And I'll grab my stuff and start heading to the door.
Can we dispel the bitumen and have the dragon burn the factory?
Do not,
Can you control the
I do
dragon?
believe if we dispel the containers carrying the bitumen will explode on its own. I do believe.
Okay.
It's very volatile. We know that.
All right, let us go to the factory then. Yes?
Yep,
Factory.
let's do it.
Okay. Back out
Here
on the
we go.
It's
pretty late at night. I take off my
You guys get
butcher
tired?
apron, hang it up. Or I just hand it out like this, and I drop it, and one of my guys grabs it. They're like my
The
lab
adrenaline.
companions.
Your
They
adrenaline
know
gets
the-
flowing the minutes before battle. How could you be tired?
Kip has this nice new black robe. with
Is it minutes
feathers
before
around the
battle? All right.
You
trudge back through the mud to the car.
Do we need the cart? We don't need the cart.
Get that to you. Oh, look at that good catch.
I don't think we need the cart.
No, we'll leave it.
Alright.
We don't need the cart.
Oh, thanks.
It's on the side of the
It'll slow us down.
road.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It is on the side of the road. You
You got,
guys.
the cart, you got the cart club to put across the wheel?
Someone steals from me. I'm gonna regret it.
I'll have my guys bring it in. 'Cause there must be
It
an
can't,
area
no,
where
it can't go in.
they
It-
bring bodies
No,
in.
it's all mud.
There must be a place where we
car-
bring
Apparently you
cart
haven't.
is
buried.
Apparently you haven't kept up with your cemetery.
Yeah. Yeah, no
We
path.
need one more. There may be a use for Blyman, yeah.
Yeah, too bad you chopped me all up. Too bad you chopped me all up.
I can reanimate his skeleton.
Have your two minions guard the cart.
Yeah.
The two minions go up. You start to walk away.
Bob and Rob.
And the Baron pauses for a moment and goes over and rummages through, finds some cloaks and throws it over them. They don't even notice. They're just kind of like standing by the side of the road. You say to them, if anyone asks, you're broken down.
Yeah.
Waiting for AAA.
Do not talk to strangers. Do not get in any white vans.
What is wrong with you?
Do not take candy from strangers.
What about puppies?
Puppies are okay.
Those guys don't look too good. They look like sick.
Depends what enzyme it is.
They are not alive. They are not really leaving.
What?
They are
What?
vessels.
All right, don't think about it too much, lad.
I'm beginning to question my choices. Well,
Honestly, do you think any other group could get this done? Come on.
no, that is why when I saw that you came to town, I was ecstatic, but I was expecting more, you know?
More?
You have not seen
Yes.
anything yet. You shall.
I heard you had a wild man with you that was 12 feet tall.
No.
Could destroy 3 men with one single blow of his
This
hand.
is true.
He was with us.
He was very handsome.
Yeah.
But I remember.
He smelled.
He's gone off to protect his own family.
Probably could have used him.
Probably.
But you have me now.
He is a champion of the sunset.
Yeah.
Right off into the sunset.
So it happens to us all.
Let me think of the Hulk, the original Hulk TV show theme song.
Oh, God.
Okay, so we're going to the factory.
Yeah, I guess.
We're just,
Think so.
We're just sloshing through the mud.
Are we just
We're
like
gonna
going
bust
like
through the front door?
Like front door? Were you looking for
Kill
like?
the cats. Well,
We
you're the
do
one
have
sneaking in.
a key.
We
Or
have
a
the key.
card.
Yeah,
that
we got
potentially could get us
Ultracart's
in.
card
Oh,
that will
Ultracart's
open
card.
doors inside.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
But-
So he's sneaking
That's
in.
the tower, though.
but it
No,
did,
no,
it did
no.
use
When he
this
took us on tour, it
tour.
opened doors in the tour too.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Okay,
would
that's
know
good.
that, my friend.
That's
like
what
that.
that's
But
what the
you
friends
would.
told me.
Oh, I grabbed the medallion.
Yes.
Do I still have that?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
You have
yeah,
the
he took
sun
that off.
medallion.
What does it look like?
A sun.
So,
Was it the same sun that you had on your?
my cloak?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I
I
think
thought
it was different.
It was different when we
Yeah,
asked.
they were
So
different.
when we first saw it, it was different.
Was it the same sun that what's his name had on him?
Baritone?
Yeah, Draconis or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Omega. He
Yeah,
had the same.
I think-
Because he's holding the same thing.
Well, I know he had the crystal.
Oh, right.
I don't know if he had a necklace.
I
I
didn't know
think
if
the
he had
other
one
dude,
either.
the Goza or Goza.
Oh, it's the same one as Gazi?
No,
Oh,
no.
but-
His helper
Okay.
that took me over.
Yeah.
Took Ximén over.
He had.
I think he had one too. So I think
Okay.
all the
What do we think that does?
minions. I don't know.
Does that prevent dispel magic?
Yeah,
Is that what we
that's
think
what
it is?
I thought because he was not.
Or it could be like a best, like you're my bestie kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it did not. It did not affect him in the elevator.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
But I don't think they. I don't know. They don't use magic. Right?
Well, some magic was used to heal Ximén.
Was it?
During your autopsy.
You did your autopsy.
It was
You saw
magically-
magical
Oh,
healing.
magically healed.
And that,
But it
that
could
caught
have
my
been.
elven ears.
Yeah, okay.
Because I was like, oh, magic. I don't use magic, but it was magically.
Tom didn't. He did say magical heal.
He did.
Yeah.
Or it appeared to be magic.
But they also, for all we know, they're in possession of a lot of magical items.
Yeah, accurate.
That they could use for anything.
Even though they despise them.
Yeah, that's my point.
Magic's bad except for when I use it.
Okay.
Well, I don't think these people are destroying magical items.
No, but
I think he collects them.
Seems that way.
Yeah.
Are we going in the front door? Is that what's happening?
It's the Teutons that appear to be destroying everything.
Correct.
Let's see.
Everybody's okay, right? Health-wise and stuff?
For the most part, yeah.
Right.
Sure.
We say that now.
Okay, as we're gonna be.
Not at full. Through the front door or some back way?
I have not discovered any other way to get in.
Do not know for sure if there is an underground or tunneled way to get there. It does appear to be, but we don't know where that is.
We could walk around and look, I guess, but
Yeah, we did walk around the one time, but we were watched the entire time.
yeah. Plus, those weird cats are gonna know we're there anyway.
Through the front?
We could knock on the door again, see if they'll open it. If they open it, we go in.
All right.
Let's light the cart on fire. Push it through the gate.
No, we could have just asked them to hold the cart again. No, we need to bring it
steal,
back.
let's steal a cart as we get through town as we get there, and that'll be our Trojan horse.
Oh,
The Trojan horse that we were already in Trojan horse.
Well, we're not blowing my cart up. Come on.
All right, well, lead the way. You seem to know how to get into places. Let's see it.
All right.
You make
Yes,
your
to the front door.
You make your way back into the city. You get back up onto the
let's ride-
raised
let's ride the
platform. You
water
pass
wheel
the
up.
wagon.
We could ride the water wheel up and get in that way.
I don't know how to swim. Wait, I know how to swim. You're wearing way too much armor to swim.
Well, then I won't go in the water.
It's a water wheel.
I'm just gonna grab the side of it.
Front door.
Front door.
All right, to the front door.
You make your way through the city. You go through the city gates. They check your coins, your tokens to make sure that you had paid rather cursorily in the rain that's coming down. It's been coming down since.
These are the same guards.
It looks like it. It hasn't been that long. I mean, it's.
I want to ask them. What kind of rotation they got you guys on? How long you stand here?
It's a pretty long time. You know, those other guys, they probably don't want to come out in the rain.
You should head up north. They treat the soldiers a lot better.
Up north.
Where I come
North
from.
is the. Oh.
Yeah, and they pay well too. I don't know how much they pay you to stand here, but
It's about 2 gold a day.
no, you gotta get up to Norway. A lot more action too.
Action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who do I ask for?
I don't know.
I heard there's a lot of trolls up there, though.
What?
Heard there's a lot of trolls up there, though.
That's the best part.
Trolls?
Yeah.
That's the best part?
Yes. You're taking down your first troll. There's nothing like it.
Okay. I'll have to keep that in mind. Okay. Have a good night then.
Have a good one.
You guys venture in through the narrow streets. Up ahead, you see on one side the Draconis Term Tower, and on the other, you see the walls that are facing Kip, Mattias, and Balder. And you're walking through the narrow streets up to the front gate. And rap. Well,
that's inside. We're
it's
outside.
inside, boss.
There is a gate there. I see.
Who's this?
That's me for now.
Open up.
Where is he?
Looks like Zelda.
You see several cats up on the stone pillars looking down at you. There's no answer at first. You keep rapping.
Is there like a thing for the card?
No.
He tried waving the card last time we did it.
Oh, well, okay.
Is there like a spot to insert the card?
You
Did
don't
we
see
look?
one.
Okay.
You just tried
Last time I
How
just
high is the wall? How high is the wall?
80 feet.
Oh, is that?
Oh, this wall?
Yeah.
It's about 12 feet high. It's not too high.
That's a big wall.
Then there's a... Sorry?
You can make it?
I was gonna to Naldo. All right, Naldo. Show us what you've got if you want to be a champion.
You might want to go around the corner at least. Perhaps.
Over here.
Over here.
You... Balder raps
That's
again.
inside again.
No, damn it.
I mean, unless you can phase through the wall.
I cannot. That was not my intention.
Keep going in there.
Balder raps again at the door. A voice says, how may I help you? Oh, you again.
Yes.
You got your card.
It appears to be some items are missing. You wouldn't happen to know what happened to them, would you?
Hold on. He disappears inside the tower. Probably about a minute goes by. He comes back. He says, I'm not aware of anything. Can you come back in the morning?
I'm not leaving until I get my stuff.
We were sent by Ultracart. Show him the card. Show him the card.
I'm not familiar with that. But
It's from Ultracart.
I was told to ask you to come back in the morning.
And I cannot come back in the morning. I am missing 300 gold, and half of my potions are missing. And one of you people took it, and I want it back.
How are you missing that much?
You tell me.
That does seem
He
very
looks over to
egregious.
Mattias, and he looks back at you, and he goes, Are you sure the two of you are in sync with one another?
Yes, we're sure.
Yes.
He just can't believe it. It's,
I'm just surprised.
you know, one or two maybe I wouldn't notice.
Because out of everyone, I would think that you would probably be the single most secure person in this entire
Now
group.
you've gotten him upset. Now you've gotten him upset. Please just let us in. It is raining.
We
out
really
here.
should have checked inventory before we left.
I was told to tell you to come back in the morning. I'm sorry.
Who told you that?
Now I need to check my things. Where are my
Just
things?
open the door. Let me look around.
My supervisor.
Just
I'm
let me look
sorry.
around. I'm sure we could clear up this misunderstanding.
Can we talk to the supervisor?
I'm sorry. I can't do that. Roll a Balder, roll a
Guidance.
persuasion check.
I'll cast guidance on
What is that, D4?
Guidance.
I cast guidance on it.
There it is.
Guidance.
Do a good job.
No,
Add
it doesn't
add a
matter.
D4?
No.
No.
Even if he rolls a 4, it will be a 6.
One time I got to use guidance. There's never a need for guidance.
This party.
He
Roll the
says,
6.
A 7.
please come back in the morning, and I'm sure it'll all be worked out.
Very good. We come back in the morning. Let us go. This way.
All right. Go this way.
This way.
Thank you for your understanding.
I'll be back.
This way. It is pretty late.
Yeah. Yeah, that way. This way.
Yeah, well, I want my stuff before they hide it.
Did they really take all those things from you?
And I'm just going to throw them over the wall.
Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go around the corner. We're going to boost them up.
I'm still standing there like this.
You're going to chuck them up.
Okay,
See
you
if
go
can
around
grab
the
ledge.
You go around the corner. I'm going to say you go over toward the Baron, toward Kip's and the Baron's side, and you see that there's like a narrow space as depicted right there, a narrow space with a tall building on one side that kind of overlooks the wall. And you suspect the upper floors may even look down into the wall.
Ooh.
And a little bit farther along, there's one of the canals going toward Morinth. You can see a little bit of the water there near the tower. But you're standing right underneath, the Baron is standing right underneath a tower at the moment. Are you guys trying to hide yourselves, or what are you doing as you're moving along the wall?
So this is the building you were talking about that looks down within?
Yes, that building is taller,
Okay.
and that building is, all of the buildings around the wall are taller than the
So
wall.
I want to shimmy down the alley.
We can stealth a little bit here.
Yeah. We'll go quietly, but
Yeah, if we clump up, I can cast pass without a trace.
we'll try to
to
stealthily
stealth us.
sneak down the alleyway and look for any other entrances, maybe to any of these buildings, like another additional alley or something.
Scooby-Doo style. We're all single
Yeah.
file on the wall.
Like a
Tiptoeing.
And when the light comes by, we'll stop.
Do I want to do pass without a trace?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna.
All right, we'll cast without a trace.
It
So
helps. Especially if it does help.
plus 10 bonus to Dex checks or to stealth checks. Sorry,
Nice.
not Dex, stealth checks.
Oh, great. Now I'm at a plus 17.
Plus 76 stealth. Gotta love them rogues.
Because I have disadvantage and a -1.
Which is good.
I'm at a plus 9.
Plus 9 to stealth?
Yeah.
I am as well.
With disadvantage.
What?
That's not with disadvantage.
What do you mean?
Well, because you're wearing heavy armor, you still have to roll with disadvantage. But
Oh,
you're
yes,
plus 9
yeah,
above
yeah,
rolls.
and Thaddeus as well. Well, disadvantage
Well,
on
no, he
stealth.
can send his away.
Oh, it's true.
Okay, so
Oh, yes, I can, can't I?
I'll wait here. You open the front door. Then I'll come in.
So you guys tell me what you're doing.
All right, so from what I understand, unless
We
I'm
go-
wrong,
Naldo,
we're
are
gonna-
you with us?
We're gonna
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
gonna
we're all
kinda
together.
go down this
Sneak in by the
alleyway
horses.
stealthily, quietly,
Nadia's disarming
using
his
shadow, and we're gonna look for any other
Stay.
other alleyways or
No,
entrances to this taller building, or any other areas that we might be able to either use to kind of scale the wall. But really, I'm looking to see, because there's this taller building, if there's like another alleyway here or something that we can get the back entrance to that
Well,
building.
we can climb up to the roof here and try to
But
get
it's
over.
taller. The roof is taller than this wall.
Yeah, but
How
this-
would we climb that?
By climbing the building, trying to climb the building, trying to find areas to climb.
Why don't we just knock on the front door of the building?
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking for like a back end door or something like that to this, so it's not right on the street because they're gonna see us.
Health inspector.
Well, I mean, they just saw us walk from the front gate around the lawn.
Oh, okay.
But
Be my guest. Be my guest.
You guys move the 10, 20, 30,
sneak
40,
inside
50
some
feet
guy's
down toward the other tower. Everyone roll a stealth check, please.
Oh, 15 with disadvantage plus 9.
Stealth check.
Nice.
Okay.
I got a 19.
With the plus 10, right? We're at 21.
23.
I rolled a 2. I got a 19.
24.
Did you say there was a plus 10, or did I mishear that?
Yeah, plus 10 because
stealth.
we got passed without a trace.
Oh, no, 24.
Nice.
Yes.
I was waiting for you to get a 40.
Okay. You guys move down along the narrow street outside of the bitumen refinery, and then at the last moment, you dive into the shadows up against the wall. So you're like hugged up against the edge of the wall. And you're moving along the edge of it. And you look up at the one corner tower. And you don't see anybody. And the angle is such that even if somebody were looking out, they probably wouldn't see you. And you slowly turn around the corner and start inching your way down. And you're in a narrow space, an alley between the wall and a building on one side. It's a tall building, probably 2 stories and a third story with the awning, not the awnings, the dormers sticking out on the one side. And you suspect that it's a wide, you're at the widest part, but it's also probably fairly wide. As you move along the wall, kind of inching your way along the wall, staying in the shadows, staying in the shadow of it, which is everywhere because it's pouring rain at this point and it's dark and you're probably a little bit soaked. Mattias, your armor, I'm guessing, is not on based upon that roll. You do see a door into the house that is in front of you as you're easing along the edge of the wall. You suspect it's a back door as opposed to the front door. And you suspect, just common sense would tell you, there's probably a road on the other side of this building that is the front street there. Looking down the alleyway, you see the other tower up ahead, and you're wedging yourself in between the protruding structures that seem to be the main support pillars of the wall to stay hidden from it. Just beyond the building that's right in front of you, you see one of the canals of Amsterdam kind of jutting off in your direction, your physical direction that you're sitting. That's that blue spot.
Oh, right here.
It's water.
Oh,
and then...
Okay.
Does the canal seem to totally stop there? Is there any grate that allows water underneath?
It does not appear as though there is a grate that goes underneath at a quick glance from where you are right now.
Okay.
But are you...
I'll try the door. You said there was a door into this building along this wall?
Mm-hmm.
I'll try the door.
Okay, so move your figures to where they are, please.
Right there.
I'm guessing that's where it was.
Yeah, probably close enough.
Okay.
Everybody going in? Everybody going in? Along the wall?
This building and then over the wall. That one.
We're all along the wall?
Everybody going?
I guess so.
We can just scale this wall.
Okay.
Scale the wall?
Yeah,
It was like 12 feet. Yeah.
We're tall enough.
Okay, what do I do when I go inside the wall and all the guards are in there and it's just me and the guards?
Well, you peek over. You don't just jump in. You look. You get a view of lay of the land.
There's probably guards in these
Guards
towers.
in the tower. There's 2 guard towers right there.
Yeah.
Let's
There's probably
explore the
guards in
option
these
with this
towers.
building.
Yeah.
Maybe we can...
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
You glance over and you do see at your angle now, you see the canal in front of you and you see the water lapping up against this side of it, near the bitumen side of it, now that you're a little bit closer. But it's dark where you are unless you were doing something else. That's all you see there from 15 feet away in the dark.
Send your raven. Take a look. I don't have a raven. Don't you have a dead raven?
No.
A dead raven?
No.
Oh, that wasn't a familiar?
I do.
No.
He's got a raven.
You do?
I have a raven.
I thought that was a familiar.
No.
What the heck was I talking to?
But yeah, I mean, I definitely can send it up and look over the wall and stuff, just to see what's going on.
Cats are there. Feathers.
Well,
where was that idea?
So,
cats are there.
not for combat, but just so that I make sure that everybody gets their turn to do something. I'm going to ask everybody to roll initiative, okay? And if it comes to combat, then we've already got it rolled. So let's go ahead and roll, and if somebody could organize that for me. And again, it's not combat yet,
At 6.
but give
What'd you get, Baldo?
23.
Okay, what'd you get, Balder?
I got
give the
17.
bad guys
What'd you get, Mattias?
a 10.
For what's the roll for again?
Initiative.
Oh, initiative.
Just for
I'll
turn
do it right
going,
now.
though. We're not in combat, just turn.
If you can write it on there with a grease pencil so that we have it for when, if you look at the base on the cards, there's a marker there in
14.
between the parentheses. If you could write the number, that'd be awesome and very helpful for when
What did
Zubeda
he
comes
just say?
back.
14.
14.
And
Balder, you said 17.
Yep.
Kip was 18. Noldo was like 23, right?
Correct.
Okay. Baron was 6. And then the opponents were 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Sorry.
No, all good. This is helpful. So, Naldo, what are you doing? You are wedged up against this building. You see you're wedged up against a wall. You see another building right in front of you. Just probably 10 feet down, you see where the Baron is. You see there's a door in front of him. And then it starts to get dark, but you can hear the water lapping just a little bit farther down. What are you doing?
I'll see the Baron approaching the door, and I'll walk up and be like, allow me. And
I'll squeeze past him.
And I'll try the knob, see if it's unlocked.
You think it's probably locked, but it's probably not like a security lock. It's just probably a latch of some sort.
Take out my thieves' tools and attempt to open the lock.
Okay, roll
Mattias tries
away.
to kick the door.
Yeah, right.
I
17.
A 17. And roll me a stealth at the same time, please.
Wait, plus 10.
Plus 10.
That's 17 for him.
25.
Wow. So as you're needling it away, you had a sense of something behind you looking down, but you managed to dive into the shadow of the building underneath the awning, and you're so quiet. You're just so stealthy. You just managed to, you feel it. You don't even hear it click. You feel the latch come up, and you kind of then just slide the handle out enough that you can open it if you needed to. You're there. That's Naldo. Kip, what are you doing?
Opening it so quietly, and then 8 people rush into the house.
Yeah, I mean, while he's doing his thing, I won't be doing it. I'm just kind of
You're
looking
just
around,
hanging loose,
concentrating on the spell, and making sure that nobody pops up.
Understood. And you have an action saved if you need to. Okay, that's Kip. Balder, what are you doing?
I will send my Raven up, and I will look through the windows of the building as I go up.
Okay, you look through the windows, and there's water running down the windows. The windows are not modern glass windows, but this is a fairly wealthy area of town, so there is glass. It's multiple panes of windows. And as your Raven flies by, it's nighttime. You see one couple in a room. They look to be enjoying themselves, shall we say.
Perfect.
You go by another window, and there's an older woman sitting in a bed with a candle. She seems to be reading a book of some sort. and perhaps underneath the blankets doing her own thing.
And they're both on the same floor, or she was on the 3rd floor and they're on the 2nd floor?
They were both on the same floor. You don't see any lights from the 3rd floor.
And then I'll just check over the wall.
You look over the wall, and kind of what you see there, except for the horses, there's one less horse now, because one was yours. There's some horses there. You see the hay. They do see a couple cats moving around on the ground inside. Okay, that is Balder. Mattias, you are wedged up against the wall in between Kip on your right and Balder on your left. What are you doing?
The door is unlocked. I don't know if that's clear. Right?
You may not know that yet, but
It's kind of all happening at the same time.
All right.
Okay, so the door is locked, you said.
No, you don't know. You're wedged. You are up against a wall in between Kip on your right and Balder on your left, and about 2 feet, maybe 3 feet in front of you is a building, and behind you is a stone wall. What are you doing? Anything? We're just holding fast.
Yeah, the area around us is too slim for me to get through, I gather.
You can always go through other characters if you wanted to.
Yeah, you can shimmy, but yeah.
No, I'll
Come
hold
closer to me, Matthias.
Bring it in.
What is it?
I said, come closer to me.
He wants
Why?
to cuddle. Let's cuddle.
All right.
Okay, that is Matthias. Baron, what are you doing?
I'm gonna
I get closer to
peek
mine.
over, 'cause since I'm at the very end there, I'm gonna look down into the area where the water is coming up.
Okay, you move a little bit closer to the edge, shimmying up against the wall.
I want to peek in to see if the water is running through the wall or underneath or anything, if there's any like grates or anything like that, or if it's just...
It is dark
running
and
right
raining, but you glance down in and you do see that it's a drop off. It's probably about 15 feet down, a 15-foot drop, and then there on this side there does appear to be a grate on this side.
Okay. I'm gonna to get a better look. I'm gonna cast kind of light on my hand and just do it like kind of hold it down. And
Without
against-
rolling an
against the
insight
wall.
check, you know that if you cast light, 20 foot
Okay.
bright, 20 foot dim, it's going to send off a beacon.
Okay.
But you
Okay.
can do that.
Okay. All right. I guess I won't.
It's up to you.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I'll turn to my side and I'll say to Naldo, there's a grate down below by where the water is flowing into.
That might be a better
the
way.
factory. But I do not know how we could get through the gate, through the grate that is below in the water.
Is anyone a good swimmer? I mean, I'm okay, but it's not that swim.
I'm not a good
I do
swimmer.
believe Matthias has a water breathing.
Believe what?
I checked.
Oh, you have it?
No, but I'm just gonna say that I'll let you know what I saw.
Do you know where his? Oh, it's right here. Maybe not. Oh, never mind. thought
I
he
might,
had a
I
water
might,
breathing, but-
I have one, yeah. But yeah, it's the occupants of the home are pretty distracted at this moment, and I didn't see any sign of life on the third floor. I think if we go this way, we just move with purpose. We don't let anything stop us. As quiet as we can, we go out the window.
Go right
If
in.
someone hears us, we just keep moving.
How far is the distance that we can see up between the wall and the overhang?
It sounds close.
It sounds close, but
It
I want to make
looks
sure
like-
it's close.
It looks like about
Oh, is it? Yeah, about 5
2.5
feet?
to 3
Oh,
feet.
okay, yeah. That's totally doable. Yeah,
Mhm.
let's do it.
Okay.
Like I said, they're preoccupied. We just keep moving. If they hear us, don't stop. We just
Okay.
go to the third floor and we go over the wall.
Okay, make sure Matthias knows not to stop.
Okay.
Okay.
Naldo, lead the way.
Naldo, you are up. What are
I'll
you
cast
doing?
guidance on him as before he goes in.
I'll open the door slowly.
Okay.
What do I say?
You open the door slowly, and you find yourself in what looks like a kitchen of sorts. I mean, it's not a modern kitchen by any stretch. There's a fireplace. It looks like the embers are burned down. There is something. It is dark. I mean, it is dark. It's not pitch black, but it's somewhere between dim and dark, and there's some kind of form laying on the ground in front of the fireplace, and then off to the left-hand side. So immediately in front of you, the fireplace would be on your right, and then in front of you, there's like a cupboard and a large preparing table, and laying in front of the fireplace, there's some kind of mass, a bundle or something like that, and then off to the left-hand side, it looks like there's a doorway that goes into someplace else.
I'll slowly pull the door closed. Look to the Baron. There is a dog.
A dog?
I think there's a dog laying on the floor. He will surely alert them to our presence.
You want me to take care of the beast?
What do you mean? You want to kill a dog?
Do you not want to go into the building?
Okay. I'll open up the door again.
Let me handle this.
You just start barking.
Get my health points back.
Totally is what's gonna happen, man. I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals. Oh wait, can I? Or does that drop?
Yeah, it's a concentration.
That would drop.
Well, once we're in the room.
Yeah, does it matter?
Yeah, no, we could use. I mean, we're sneaking through a house.
Yeah,
we
I
can use
will
it.
not use that.
We're gonna get caught anyway. We're gonna get caught anyway. We're just gonna keep moving, let nothing distract us.
No, let's just try to get past it. Let's just try to get past it. We can sneak past it. Let's try to sneak past it before we kill a dog.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. If it fails, then you could drop it.
Hermes. Figures.
Okay, Naldo, Kip, you are up. What are you doing?
I'm gonna start sneaking past.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's
roll
sneak
a
past.
stealth check.
Oh, 16 plus 10, so 26.
26.
Oh, plus 9. So, yeah.
That would be helpful.
You go, as you step in.
Go invisible.
As you.
35. Yeah.
As you step across the threshold, in there, your vision is exponentially better than everyone else's. And you turn to your right, and there's the fireplace adjacent to the outside wall. In front of you is the cupboard and a prep room, and off to your left is the door that you suspect goes someplace else. And you see the crumpled form in front of the fireplace, and you quickly realize that it's probably a cook or a servant laying in front of the fireplace.
Retreats back into the darkness.
No, go forward.
You go to the other.
Imagine if I started barking. Oh man. Oh, okay. Yes, keep trying to creep right past him. Looking for, because multiple stories, right? So we're looking for stairs to go up, right? So looking for stairs. Try to find a way up.
Okay, you come up to the next door, you so stealthily open the next door, and you find yourself in a hallway. And across from you, the hallway looks like it goes from where you are to your right. Across from you is another door that looks like it goes into another room. The hallway going to your right, it looks like there's a door and then a door. Hallway goes to the right. The door you're in, another door, and then there's a set of stairs in the center of the hallway that go up.
Okay. Gonna try to traverse up because it's third floor we want, right?
We're all going together.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
You're moving at a slow pace.
Yeah.
You're moving
and I'm doing the same thing
probably-
anybody would do in the middle of the night, like trying to make sure I'm like stepping on beams, even though I have no idea where they are, you know, to try to prevent any creaking or cracking.
Understood.
Yes.
Understood. That is Kip. Boulder, you are up.
I will attempt to follow.
Okay, you start to make your way into the room. Naldo, as you go by him, is like,
servant, cook, pass it on. see what it sounds like at the end of the line.
Big dog on the floor. Cook, servant.
you hear serving dog on the floor.
Nice.
Okay, roll me a stealth check, Balder.
Ooh, 12 or 11
plus 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Disadvantage. He's got armor.
Inspiration. Jeez.
Yeah, he got a huge stack.
I'm probably going to do the same thing.
Here we go. 15.
15. You start to hear the boards crackle, and the form off to the dog, the serving dog, the servant dog, the servant off to your right as you come through, it starts to shift, and you can't. I mean, it's just a lump in the darkness. I mean, it's just this purplish, blackish darkness for you. You're kind of disoriented. You don't know where he went, but you see off to your left, you see the shadow of a door. You suspect Kip went through that. You go through it, and you turn, and you see Kip ever so slightly up ahead of you. There's some light coming in from some windows, some narrow windows on the either side of a door, and you see the stairway going up in the center. That's your turn.
Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna
Balder.
wait.
Mattias, you are up.
I'm just going to wait at the bottom of the stairs. And I'll stay there.
Okay. So what exactly is around me at the moment?
You are outside in an alleyway. You saw in the darkness Kip and Balder both go into a building in front of you, and Naldo is standing outside of it whispering something to you that sounds like fog inside.
Big fog. Big fog on the floor.
Inside.
I don't know why. I never know why people can't just speak a civilized language. All right. So they haven't come out yet.
No, they just went in.
We're all going in.
We're all going in. You're going in too.
Trying to get to the next, to like the third floor so we can get over the wall. That's the plan.
Okay. I will take up the rear and gesture to Naldo to go in.
Okay, roll me a stealth check, please.
Your armor.
I think it's still dispelled.
It's off right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so still pass without. How far is pass without trace?
Any bonuses to this one?
Yeah, still plus 10 for pass without trace.
Okay, a dirty 20.
Okay, you make your way into the room. You see this crumpled form that doesn't look anything like fog on the floor in front of a fireplace. And then you turn to your left and you see a doorway. You go through it and you can barely make out the shape of Balder moving in front of you. And you're guessing in front of him is probably Kip. That you get probably about partway toward a set of stairs that appear to be going up. That is Mattias. The Baron is up.
I'll follow in as well.
Okay, roll in a stealth check.
Oh, nice. 25.
A 25. You're like moving like.
I want to hold a spell though, just in case.
What do you mean by hold a spell?
Like an action. Hold an action, and what I'm going to do is like if something happens, it'll trigger that.
Describe to me what you're planning to hold.
If that person wakes up, right, that we're trying to sneak by. If the person wakes up or whatever, that lump is, like hears us and starts to move or whatever, I'm going to cast blindness on them. But I don't want to cast it yet, but I'm waiting to see what their reaction is. Like if something
you're preparing it in your head. This is an awesome discussion. It's actually one of my diatribes. It's saved for this very topic, and I might have time to get to it tonight. But you can't ready an action outside of combat. But you are prepared. So like if something is going to happen, I'm like you're locked and cocked, so you have a chance of quote surprise condition.
Yeah, but it wasn't combat.
It's not combat. I'm sorry. I thought I made that clear at the beginning.
No,
this is a technique that I learned from another DM. It's called dungeon, and he calls it dungeon initiative. And he makes it very clear that it's not combat, but the goal is to make sure that every player gets to do something.
Okay.
Because sometimes in a game, what happens is some personalities drive what happens in the game as opposed to, and I just wanted to make sure because I not that this was happening now.
I don't need to hold or anything. So if something happens, like an action of an NPC happens, then I can react whatever, regardless of if I'm not in line with.
You're tense.
You're tense. You're tense. You're locked
like
in.
Tom
cock.
just came up with a couple diatribes for future sessions.
You're locked in. cock. Yes, I did. This is awesome stuff. But it's a great discussion because we spent several hours. Me and a couple other DMs spent a couple hours talking about this very topic. But it's very, very cool. Anyway, that's what you're doing. You are in. You move through what looks like a kitchen. You see the form what you think is a dog on the floor. It's kind of a big dog. But you see the dog on the floor, you guess they went left, nobody said anything. And then you go through a doorway and you see the Mattias's backside in his pretty clothes without his armor, and you guess you're following them. Naldo, you are up. You're the last one in. I'm supposing you're going in.
Yeah, I'm going.
Ooh!
Natural 1, but with the bonuses, that's
It's still a failure. It is a massive failure. It is, even with your bonuses. Are you doing anything?
No, throwing a chip. That's a 27.
A 27. There you go. There's another diatribe. Yes, raw, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Tom's game, a 1 is a failure.
I'm okay with that.
It is in
A
the rules.
1 is all failure.
I'm okay.
Always, always, always. Anybody hates it? Find another table. Okay? I'm good with that. That's cool. I'm good with it.
Is a 20 always a success?
A 20 is if I call for a roll. No, this is a great discussion. I want to bring this. A 20. I subscribe to the philosophy as a DM, don't call for a roll unless there is a chance of success or failure. So if you are going to succeed anyway, I generally will not call for a roll. I will tell you, your common sense tells you you don't need to roll an insight check. Your common sense tells you blah. I'm not going to make you call for a roll because to me it doesn't pass the common sense test. Plus, it's not raw. So raw, it says that if there's a chance, technically it says if there is a chance of failure, call for a roll. If there's no chance of failure, well, why make anybody roll? There are people on the internet who will argue, and I have argued with DMs too, not argued, but verbally sparred with DMs who subscribe to the philosophy of degrees of success. I think that is total hogwash. Yeah. If I sat there and asked you for a check and you rolled a natural 20, and then I have the gall to tell you, no, you didn't succeed.
Yeah, all right.
But you had a degree of success that was not a complete failure because there was no chance of success. No, I'm sorry, that's bogus. I will not ask you to roll if there is if there's a chance of failure, you're going to roll. If there's no chance of failure, if you're going to succeed anyway, I'm not going to ask you to roll and then tell you didn't succeed.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
It doesn't make sense.
Like there's no chance you're opening this door, but go ahead and roll. And then explain you didn't open it.
Yeah, I mean,
you're pretty confident.
But there are DMs who will argue till they're blue in the face. Well, it's not really success or failure; it's a degree of failure. I'm like, what? Where'd you?
They come from other game types because there's a lot of game types that do that stuff.
Okay, that's cool. It's just not my style of play. Yeah. Anyway.
No, I get it.
But I think it's very cool. Thank you for bringing that up. You are watching the Carpathian Adventure on 7-Sided Die, and we will be right back. I'm sorry I broke the meta there, guy. Welcome back. You're watching the Carpathian Adventure on Seven-Sided Die, and we rejoin the party sneaking into a house here. Okay, everybody, I think everybody has gone one round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody roll me 2 stealth checks, please. Two stealth checks, and tell me what you get.
Okay. 15.
35.
22. And for the next, ooh, too bad. Look at that wasted. Look at that wasted roll. And a 16. So a 22 and a 16.
27 and 32.
35 and 31. Sorry.
I got a 14 and a 28.
14. Maddie is. You're stepping
Okay.
You use one?
He starts to move and he feels
yeah.
his.
Okay, somebody
Give
talks.
one to me, or am I?
Yeah, you definitely want to use one.
Okay.
Roll stealth
then,
again.
Yes. 18.
18. Everyone's stepping along. Maddie starts to step on a board that feels a little bit noisier than the other boards, but he pauses. And then everyone goes very stealthily up the steps. You're all kind of like holding on to each other. Borinth is probably with a 15.
He's here.
Borinth. The Baron.
Crash, boom, bang.
With a 15, your foot starts to slip, but you catch yourself.
Hey guys, why are you sneaking around?
You manage to get up to the second floor landing. You hear the giggling of some woman in the room next to you. You pause momentarily, maybe to listen, and then you keep going.
Like it's perfectly timed.
Squeak.
And then you keep going, and you come to the next set of stairs, and you're making your way up, and then you come to a small door at the top of the stairs that go from the second floor to the third floor attic or room. You very carefully open it, and you find yourself in an attic. Large wooden beams, a little bit of light coming through 4 dormers. 2 on one side facing the bitumen refinery, and 2 on the other side facing the street beyond. And you're in this large area. The floor is not really a floor per se, it is just beams. And they are not, 16 inches?
Yeah.
They are not 16 inches center line to center line.
24.
They're probably not 24 either. As you step from beam to beam to beam, you make your way over toward one of the dormers, or both of the dormers on the bitumen side. You are there. What are you doing?
Open the window.
Yep. Well, let's look through the window and see what's in those towers. Yeah, there could be guards there.
Cats.
Cats. There's lots of cats there.
Okay, just pull your figures toward the building side.
Yeah.
Okay, off of the map, just so that we can see the map. So those 2 dormers that you see right there, those are the dormers that you're looking out of. If you can imagine, the windows are not as wide as the dormers. They're probably about half the width and centered on them. You can hear the couples down below you, or the couple down below you, kind of echoing. You look through the windows. Again, it's not 21st century or 20th century or even 19th century glass. It is old glass. It is wavy. You're looking through it. You see the one tower. It is raining. You see the one tower off to your right. You don't see any activity in it. But an insight check, just from common sense, would tell you probably wouldn't illuminate the inside of the tower to be able to see out any more than you would turn on all the lights in your car to look out of your car.
We could see enough as to where the wall is.
Absolutely. The wall is maybe 2 feet away. Now it's probably about 15-ish feet below you. It's about 12 foot high. You're probably about 30 feet in the air at this point.
Let's go.
Yep, let's do it.
How high is the tower? How high is the tower compared
The
to
tower is just slightly lower than you. So you're actually above it. And they probably couldn't see you anyway because of the lip of the way the lip of the conical tower is, it doesn't necessarily give a good vantage point of you right now.
What is there?
15 feet drop down.
What ways are there to enter the tower from the building? Just like window slits?
You're looking through the faded glass, you see what look like, just like slots going around it. They're not like arrow slots, but they're certainly not just wide open, and they're not super small.
Big enough to fit through, but not easily.
You look at it and you take a quick glance and you're like, somebody could easily get stuck. Maybe not, but somebody could easily get stuck. You were inside the Bitterman factory before, and so you do. Might recall. Oh, it's right. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay, so you are there. Let's go, Naldo. You are up. What are you doing?
We're trying to jump down to the wall from here.
Yeah. Hang down and then maybe hang down with your hands and then jump over to the wall.
We could jump over the tower? The roof of the tower?
Good luck to you guys. I'll open up the window and I kind of get out onto the roof and
yeah, so
I'll try to jump from the roof down onto the top of the wall.
Okay.
There's no roof, right? It's just the window?
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to lift up the window, and you're probably gonna have to climb out, step over a little bit, pause momentarily,
and then launch.
Oh, and then you're gonna hang down, because if you hang down,
hang from
you'll be close to the wall, and you're gonna hang down, and you just gotta kind of hop.
Yeah, but if I hang down, I'm 2 feet away from the wall. 'Cause I'm hanging
2.5, 3 feet. Yeah,
that's it. 2 feet. You can jump off, but you're already lower.
I think I'll be able to just.
No, you're the rope. You do what you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just jump down.
Roll me both an acrobatics and a stealth check, please.
You're a bad boy.
Okay.
And add a d4.
Wait for acrobatics, blue for stuff. Ooh, 2 5s. Acrobatics, 12.
Roll d4.
Plus, I got 14. Acrobatics 14. Stealth 22.
Stealth, you are so quiet. You launch off, and it's like a diver going off the board into the deep water, and you go toward the wall. And roll me a d6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
3.
1, 2, 3. You slam into the wall, but very quietly, and you roll and tumble down the inside. You take
onto those barrels of hay.
Yes,
Right
you
there.
take 3 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are prone on the other side. Put his figure on the other side, like in between the horses and the hay right
I
there.
didn't see anything. It looked good to me.
Right.
Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah, lay him
right
down.
there, lay
Okay, that is Naldo. Kip, you are up. You heard a thump.
You didn't hear it though.
Or you didn't hear a thump.
Yeah. It's like, oh, he's so quiet.
It looked perfect.
He probably thinks that it's him. And I will go and stick out the window. And I will I'll just do what he did.
Okay, give me a stealth and an acrobatics check.
That looked perfect.
You shimmy up to the edge,
did
you
it.
pull your feet
It
out of the
worked
window, you wedge yourself out, you look down into the dark, but you can see it much better. You can see, I'll give you advantage on your acrobatics, because you can see the wall clearly as opposed to everybody else.
All right, so this is acrobatics. So we got a 5.
With a plus 4.
6.
I give you advantage on your acrobatics.
Oh, it was the advantage on
Because,
acrobatics. Actually, my skill check too. I should check what that is. That's plus 1.
Well, I can tell you exactly what it is.
So 12, 5, so 17.
Plus.
13 plus 5, 18.
18.
For
And that's acrobatics and stealth.
That's a natural 1.
A natural 1. You are.
Inspiration. Everybody else has done it
That's
tonight.
it. No one. Oh.
Yeah.
No ones tonight.
So that's 16, 17, 20.
He's gonna blow through
16
it.
plus 9.
That's
So
what they've all done.
20.
Take damage.
Okay,
Take
you
damage.
are
They all
like
jump.
right on top of the wall. Whoosh. You are on top of the wall. That is Kip. So put your figure on top of the wall in front of Naldo.
Oh, how's Hermes doing? How's
Boulder, you are up.
being a 7-foot tall man, I will just hang out the window, and I will just reach my foot over and kind of do a little hop to the wall.
It's a little more than that. It's about 15-foot drop to the wall, but okay.
It was all right.
But you reach over, you like hang.
Little kick off the wall.
You reach over, you kind of like swing back and forth, and then you kind of whoosh, drop yourself over. Okay, roll me a stealth and an acrobatics. The stealth is, I think, with disadvantage on you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So 11 plus 9, so 20.
On the
stealth.
Stealth. Whoosh! Even in all of your armor, you are like wickedly quiet.
And the acrobatics is a 13.
A 13! You are wickedly quiet. You're like, whoosh. And you have such confidence that is absolutely incredible. Roll me a d6, please.
No. 6.
A 6! You slam into the wall and you bounce down and you are on the outside of the wall. And you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage from slamming into the wall and slamming onto the ground. And you are prone on the other side of the wall. That is Baldur. Mattias, you are up.
Okay. So, where am I in relation to all of this?
You are inside on the 3rd floor of, imagine the old Booten house before we tried to finish it off. Those wooden beams, and you go up to the dormers, the little windows, and you go up to that window, and you step from beam to beam to beam to get up to the window, and the window has been opened. And everybody else has been like sticking their legs out, getting on the edge of the roof, and then leaping off. Or Baldur, who was just in front of you, went up to it, stuck his legs out, climbed outside, hung off of it, kind of swung himself back and forth, and then launched himself to the wall below, which is in the dark, pretty much in the dark. But
I say, Mattias, jump.
Okay, Mattias will go. We'll go out legs first, but in such a way where he's planning to have an idea of what he's looking at first.
Okay, understood.
Before jumping, that is.
So you're gonna go. He climbs out on the edge. Mattias climbs out on the edge. He stands there and he looks down, and it's dark, but you can barely make out the edge of the wall that people are trying to launch themselves onto. Down below. You launch toward it?
Yep.
Roll me a stealth and an acrobatics check. Your armor is not on, correct?
Correct.
Okay, roll away.
Okay, does the stealth still have the bonuses or no?
Yes.
Stealth, yes, you have the plus 10 from Kip, and you're otherwise plus 3 for stealth. So you have plus 13 total.
Yeah, so 29.
And acrobatics is the same. Okay, roll me an acrobatics as well.
Yep.
But you know, it's only plus 3 on the acrobatics, not plus 13.
I know. Gonna use an inspiration on that.
Okay.
I have it, might as well use it.
Yeah, you do.
You got the biggest stack, that's for sure.
And
They're laughing at you.
that is a 21.
A 21. Mattias, in his fancy clothes, leaps out into the window, and Kip, you see this form silently appear right beside you. Mattias, you glance over. You're on this wall that is about 1.5 feet, 2 foot wide. And Kip is standing right next to you. You know that Baldur and Baldur and Naldo both went out, but neither of them do you see on the wall. You glance down, you see one on one side of the wall and one on the other side of the wall. That is Mattias. The Baron is up.
I have the strangest urge to say hello there.
I'm just gonna jump.
Okay, you jump. Roll me a stealth and an acrobatics. Stealth if you're trying to be quiet.
Don't forget to turn
Which
into
one do
a
I do
bat.
first? Which one's first?
You tell me. I don't care.
Well, the roll.
Stealth.
Okay,
Stealth is
'cause I have
first.
disadvantage on one. That's why. All right.
What
Okay, so
what do you have disadvantage on?
Stealth is medium armor.
Yeah, medium armor.
Oh, that's right. I see it
So
here. Yeah.
20.
And your
20
minus
for
1
stealth.
on top of that,
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So 20 for stealth, And then what am I rolling? Acrobatics?
Wow, that's good. Yeah, acrobatics. And
What was
you're
the
-1.
Skills -1. Ooh, natural 20.
Ooh, okay.
So 19.
Whoosh. All three of you, it's like some acrobatics team standing on the wall there. Okay.
So I'm either going to take out a rope and I'm going to hang a rope down for Balder.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'll be right back. We're not off. We're still on. Your rope is dangling down the Balder.
What are you all still doing up there?
Balder, grab the rope. Grab the rope.
I'll just get up.
I thought we were going inside.
I will grab the rope.
Just to stand up. That's all it was for. Yeah. See you later, Mulder.
He lets go. Just throws a rope at me.
Oh, good.
Just coils down.
Okay. Naldo, you are up. What are you doing?
I will get to my feet, but in a low crouch, and take a glance around the courtyard that I can see near me.
You see what you see on the map.
Okay.
You guys have all been so incredibly stealthy. You don't see any other activity. You're kind of ducking down behind a horse right now.
Yeah.
You look up and you can see the tower up in front of you. You know, just natural insight, the people are probably not typically looking inside. There's probably things inside to guard inside. They're probably looking out anyway. And that's where you are.
I'll just hold where I am.
Okay, you're holding where you are. And you can hold, yeah. Okay, that is Kip. A correction, Naldo. Kip, what are you doing?
Yeah, so first,
You know, it's about another 12 foot down to where you see him down below. And there's some straw there.
Okay, I do need to make sure Lycoa gets over.
Assassin's Creed.
We haven't really thought about him. So do you want him to roll?
Sure.
All right, so he's just got 6, 7. So he's got a 7 acrobatics. Right? Is acrobatics dex? It is. So 7 acrobatics. And then stealth would be 15, 17.
Stealth. He is deadly quiet. But, well, not deadly quiet. He's but, okay, roll me a d6, please.
I'll carry him up.
A 4.
A 4. Whoosh! He thumps onto the ground. He slams onto the wall. Mattias and Kip and the Baron just step out of the way as you feel this thing come slamming down, and then it falls onto the other side, and he takes 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Which side, Tom?
He falls onto Balder's side.
He's on top of Balder.
Boom! This big furry dog falls on you.
So at that point, now for Kip's turn,
You wanna get out of
you
here?
threw a rope down. So I'm gonna help you with the rope to hold it and sturdy it, so that Balder can potentially get up, and we'll have to hoist up.
Okay, that is Kip. Balder, you are up. This rope comes dangling. I mean, out of the darkness.
I'm just I'm just on the ground going.
My back.
From
I'm just gonna
high
get
up
up.
in the darkness, this rope flops right next. You get hit with a dog, and then you get hit with a rope.
I will pick up Lycoa, and I'm gonna go to the tower and kill Draconis.
Oh, you're gonna go to
peace.
He's out.
We're just hanging onto the rope, like what the?
So I'll kind of grab Lycoa. I'll grab the rope and I'll start trying to ascend up the wall.
Okay, okay. Give me a.
Lycoa's just kind of. I'm wearing him like a.
Give me a
right around
strength
my
check.
neck.
Anything but a
We're holding
1.
the rope and helping pull up the rope too, so I don't know if that counts as like a help action or something.
Yes, plenty. 11 plus 11.
I'm sure he's
Whatever.
wickedly strong. You managed to pull him up. The biggest problem you have is him not pulling you off the wall. Balder is up on top of the wall. Mattias, you're on top of the wall. What are you doing? You've got on top of the wall with you the now
He's
like
still on your neck.
no not Lycoa on top of Balder, Kip, yourself, and the Baron all on top of the wall. You're there on the inside side. There are horses off to your right. Laying on the ground is.
Well, I'm kneeling now. You can stand me back up.
Naldo, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I've got
Naldo. And off to your, further to your left are some bales of hay. It's about 12 foot to the ground below. What are you doing?
Is anyone moving to help Noldo.
Noldo doesn't need help.
I don't need help. You need to come down here.
We need to go to him.
All right,
Come on, come on.
Then Matthias will get down, not jump down, but like turning around so that his back is to the to the outside side, and then drop down to his hands and then drop.
Okay, understood. You get up and you kind of give me a stealth check, please. Okay, and you are very easily on the inside. That is Matthias. The Baron is up.
21.
21. You slide so quietly down. The Baron, what are you doing?
I'm going to creep along this wall.
Okay.
And go look into the tower and see if there's anybody in the tower.
You go up and you poke it is like dark. You're very moving along, very slippery along here. You get up to the tower and it is dark inside the tower. You stick your face comes. There's a large opening.
I'm not just going.
What are you doing then, dude?
I'm sneaking up. I'm trying
Pretend to tell me.
Trying to get a look. Well, that's like what I said. I'm creeping up, and I want to try to get a look to see if I see anybody that's in there.
Okay, you creep up to it. The window's right here. Okay, the window is above you right now. It's up here. What are you doing?
I'm looking to see if there's anybody.
So you raise your head up and you look in.
So it's above me, or am I on the wall?
You're on the wall.
On the wall, but
And
it's on
the hole's above you. What are you doing?
The wall's above me. I'm thinking I'm on the same level as the wall. Like
The hole in the tower. Bad me. So you go up. There's a round stone tower, and then there's like a hole for a window above. So like here's the wall going up to it, and then there's some space, and then there's the opening.
there's the tower.
So
Okay,
you
it's higher.
snuck.
Sorry.
Well, the whole tower is there,
Okay.
but the openings are not at the same level as the wall. They're a little bit higher up.
Okay.
So you sneak up to the edge of the tower, and you're there at the edge, and there's an opening up above.
Okay. Yeah, I want to pop in to see if there's anything up there.
Okay.
Is anybody right there at the thing?
Okay, you.
Hello.
You.
All this for nothing.
Oh, well, the tower's looking down. I mean, you gotta take the guards out. Try to do it quiet.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I figured that's what.
Sure
would
enough,
have
you
to do.
walk. You look inside, and you see somebody, and they look over at you, and it's like,
Okay.
kill them.
I'm gonna cast Vampire Touch on them.
Okay, roll initiative though. I think this is for real initiative now, guys.
Okay.
Bad guys have a 17.
Do I get a surprise round?
14.
No, there's no such thing as a surprise round, but thank you.
If he doesn't see me coming and I just immediately grab him, I gotta wait all the way to the end of initiative. Everybody
I'm gonna.
That's another discussion of initiative, but that's the whole point. Is he does see you coming because he rolled a 17.
Well, no, he rolled. Yeah, but.
Well, he's
before
also
I
a
did,
guard.
19.
But I mean,
I'm
that's
expecting to
yeah.
see someone in there. I'm popping in like, you know.
People disagree on it, but that's kind of what
Yeah.
the whole point of initiative is. Is it's like who gets to
Naldo
go
19,
first without
opponents
surprise rounds.
17.
But some people
Matthias,
do
what'd you
surprise
get?
rounds. It's like a weird.
Right.
Matthias, what'd you get?
Matthias initiative.
I got a 14.
What'd you get, Baron?
Nice.
7.
7.
Here, you're gonna.
It doesn't work. Yeah. Baldur, what'd you get?
5.
Oh, 5.
It's just water based.
Is this wet?
Spit on it. Spit on the rag.
Okay, now I got it.
Ah,
We're
or
done.
don't.
We're done. We're done. Okay. 19. So Naldo's up. Well, I'll finish doing this.
Okay, so we're out of
Sorry,
dungeon
I didn't think
initiative. We are, huh?
I know. I'm saying sorry to them. I didn't think.
No, it's all good.
Turn into like
That's
this,
good.
you know.
It's all good.
It was gonna come
No,
down to
I-
this eventually.
Okay, who's
It
up
lasted
there?
this long. I don't even
Matter of
know.
time.
I think I'm first.
Who's up? No,
But
no,
it's-
you're
I'm
up.
It's
sorry.
one tiny
Naldo.
window that they were looking out of. You can't really.
But I'm
I
expecting.
mean,
your head in it.
there's still nothing going on down
Not where you are.
where I am,
Oh, like pop up grab.
and I don't really know what he's doing. So I'm still just waiting there, watching the courtyard, waiting for everybody else to come down to me.
Okay.
There wouldn't be anything else I would
grab a
logically
cat,
be doing.
chuck
But
it.
that's what I was thinking.
Okay, that's That's Naldo. The opponents are up. The opponents, they see your face stick in there. All of a sudden, it just pops up, and he's like, what the heck? And yes, he's slightly taken off guard, but he is a guard, after all. And he sits there, and he, at this point, he shouts something indecipherable that is very, very loud. And you hear like screeches emanate from around the area. And then he pulls out his sword, and that's his action. Okay, Mattias, you are up. You heard some kind of screeches.
Okay. What direction were they coming from?
Just they're kind of like emanating around the vitamin.
It's gonna happen anyway. Not how I thought it was gonna happen.
If you didn't do it, my disadvantage would have did it.
What are you doing, Mattias?
So it's only a matter of time.
I will summon my armor and start moving forward to try and...
Which way are you moving?
Generally in the same direction that the others are going.
Everybody's kind of clustered around.
Yeah, we're not really going anywhere.
Formation here.
3 people are on the wall, you and I are on the ground.
Then I'll face whichever way seems the least.
Okay, you turn and put your back up against the wall in between the... put his back against the wall in between the bales of hay and the horses next to Naldo.
Yeah, we're
kind of forming a defensive line,
yeah,
trying
we're
to
both
figure
like
out
against the wall, like ready.
Yeah, I mean you're still quiet and still stealth, but I mean, okay, that is Mattias. Kip, you are up. You heard a scream, and you saw him go up. Look up his head. You saw something in the inside. Look out at him, almost like it's a very furtive.
Yeah.
Can I throw Lycoa in the tower?
Yeah, right. So the screeches are happening. Things are alert. I guess. Baldur's on this side of me, so I can't do anything there. How big is this window?
Which window?
I'm sorry, the window that his head is now in, looking back at a guard.
Call it 18 inches high by 30 inches wide.
All right. I will. Can I see anybody past him that had alerted everybody? Am I able to see them from my distance?
Yeah, I mean, with your sharpshooter ability, yes, you can make out somebody in there. It's a very, very little, but I mean, it would have a lot of cover, but your ability kind of negates that.
I will shoot an arrow whizzing past his
Understood.
ear blindly to see. Yeah. If I happen to hit anything, 14, so 14 to 28.
A 28. Borinth, I'm sorry. The Baron, you see this arrow go whizzing by you. You're looking in this opening, and this arrow goes whizzing by you and right into this guy.
15 points of piercing.
15 points of piercing damage.
You feel the fletching on your ear as it goes past.
How every movie in Hollywood is supposed to work.
So, and then 29 for a second shot there.
Shoot him anyway.
Ow!
So that's 16 points of damage. I want the arrow to go on the other side of him. So.
Okay, one arrow goes right past, and as it slams into the guy's eye, he's screaming in pain, and then he moves to one side, and it goes through just past the Baron on the other side, and it slams into his other eyeball, and he goes, wah! And then he flops down dead on the other side.
Excellent. And then Lycoa's going to jump down and take kind of center position here in defense as well.
Okay, I'm assuming she's not worried about, or he or she or they are not worried about stealth at this point.
Stealth is... Well, no, I probably would have...
Okay, huh?
Concentration?
I still have concentration even when attacking? Yeah, I guess
No, is Lycoa worried about stealth during jumping? Okay. Baron, you are up. You saw these 2 arrows go flying past you. Whatever saw you quickly went down.
Okay. I'll hop into the guard tower.
You try and you climb into this guard tower. You are inside. There's one other person inside there.
Okay. I'm gonna grab a hold of him, and I'm gonna cast Vampiric Touch on him.
Ooh.
So skeletal-like fingers grab a hold of him, and I'm just gonna grab his face. Is it a cat? Is it a cat or is it a guy?
It's a guy.
I'm looking at a guy. So I grab him, and I bring my face right close to him. I'm gonna siphon the life force from him. So that is. Oh my I'm gonna roll the hit. 17 to hit?
A 17. You reach up and you try. Is it against his AC?
Yeah.
You reach up and you can feel it, and as you're clasping onto him, you feel the chain underneath him, and it doesn't seem to penetrate him.
That's okay.
Okay, that is the Baron. Boulder, you are up.
All right, I'm gonna jump down onto the hay.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna start making my way towards the factory.
Okay, and you jog toward which direction toward it?
I guess just straight in front.
Okay, you go running up toward the front, right there, like right there.
This front. Which front?
No, that side.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, you run up toward that side, and you see the wall right in front of you, and it is dark, but you feel the solid wall, and you know there's a bend around that way, and you don't see any like entrances immediately in front of you.
I mean, yeah, I guess I can go around to the right with the rest of my movement then.
Okay.
Because I think the lay of the land that I remember, there's only an entrance here and over through the offices over there.
You know there's one. You can kind of, I mean, you can't see it. It's too far distance-wise in the dark, but you do recall that there's some over here.
Then
there might be others, too.
I would go that way then.
Okay, understood.
Whichever one I remember as
This one?
one with the factory tour, yeah.
So if you jump down, what's your movement? So like,
There.
somewhere around there?
Okay, that is awesome. You guys having a good time?
Yes, sir.
Oi! Oi, 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 oi. Okay, awesome. Going around the table. Did you have a good time, Jess?
Absolutely.
What was your highlight?
Obviously the send off to Ximén.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I wish the Baron had been here. I know you had real life, but
yeah, you know, it's you put a lot of time and energy and thought into a character, and after 3 years, it's nice to have more of a send off than just having your brain sucked out of your head.
Yeah.
So
I don't think the send off is done yet.
I think you know it's the death note that I had written many months ago.
What's that?
Came back into effect.
I was wondering, did you write that or did you write that?
I wrote that like 4 months ago.
Okay.
Way before.
Okay, I missed.
Way before it happened.
Yeah.
So, and I think it worked well with everything that transpired. I also like being kind of astonished at the Champions of the Sun and how, like, you know, as an outsider, I thought they were like these great things, but like they're just like it's just
can't even go through doors.
It's just off.
Isn't that the classic D&D joke though? The the door is like
the worst.
Yeah. The door is the worst enemy of every
doors and corners.
Doors and corners. That's like a meme out there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. I can't thank you enough for writing that. I know you didn't know that I was going to use it that way, or I suspect you didn't know I was.
No, I mean, I knew it'd come somehow through our discussion. I very much enjoyed the way that it was that you. Designed it.
I hope I genuinely gave it justice.
Yeah, I believe you did.
I really tried to, and I think it was, and I don't even think it's necessary. As Brian said, I don't think it's necessarily over. I mean, maybe there is another. I don't know. I mean, it's up to you guys. I don't know if you're planning a funeral for him or something else.
I set tasks for everybody to do.
I know you're
like,
I missed all of that.
I'm like, before I'm gone, you got to do all this stuff too.
Oh, really?
And you are level 5, correct?
Correct.
5,500 experience points. I think that puts you. It should be 5,500. You did the math. I'm not sure. 5,500. Awesome stuff. Thank you. Thank you for playing. Ryan, did you have a good time?
Of course.
What was your highlight?
My back.
What was it?
Falling,
My back.
Falling was funny.
It was funny. That was good.
But no, I'm just excited to get this going. I feel like I just wanted to go right after Veritas, but they want to blow a factory up, we'll blow a factory up.
It's up to you guys. Well, very cool. Thank you for playing. I appreciate it. 1,000 experience points. Matthias, Reiner, did you have a good time?
I did.
What was your highlight?
I also liked the send off. I don't know how I would have done it in that situation, and I like seeing how we approach it, you know, and what it could set up for the future.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for playing. I greatly appreciate it. I know you've got a lot going on, so I'm glad you can join us.
I am too.
1,000 experience points, and according to my math, you're at 139,289, and that should pop you to 140,289, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I think...
That's 14, man. That's 14.
I think
Ding,
so.
ding, ding, ding,
Yeah,
which
that's
is a
14.
boon for everybody else, too. Huzzah! Congratulations.
You get
Awesome.
you get more experience now.
Next week.
So then that means I'm level 14.
Awesome. Kip.
No game goes that long.
Mark, did you have a good time?
I did. Thank you, Tom.
What was your highlight?
There was a couple moments. I part of the send off I thought was really interesting, especially knowing that you wrote it. Because I was like, we should find out about the books. I'm rummaging through them, which is always never easy unless you're playing that type of a character, which Kip doesn't. But he's done this twice now. It just seems to be a theme. But looking for the book and stuff, and then to find out there was like taking the stuff and trying to be respectful. Oh, we should bring this back to his family, everything. And then he winds up having a whole list that's like, oh, we should bring this to his family. So it was like I felt like I was doing the right thing anyway as a character. I was without knowing that there were wishes in place for that. Kip was trying to do the right thing, and I think I like that. I enjoyed that. I felt like I played it right.
I thought you played it fantastically, and I also liked your reactions when the Baron was doing his autopsy. You were like, I mean, isn't it obvious how he died?
Yeah, I was doing autopsy. Look at his, we just killed his brain.
The back of his head is blown out.
The rest of it, and again, though, I know I said this at one point, but I really am enjoying more of the utility as well. So even though the stealth kind of almost was, a little bit irrelevant there, it wasn't
relevant.
I'm joking.
It got us all the way around through the house and into the place.
Oh, I see what you meant. I didn't pick up on what you meant.
That was a joke. But still, like being able to use a spell like that the whole party can benefit from, it makes it so much better than just what do you do? Oh, I shoot 2 arrows. I'm done.
We didn't have to kill any
there's a lot
innocent
more.
people.
No, you're wickedly good with those arrows. So
You're not killing innocent people.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Also, I don't take that the wrong way. It was like pew-pewing is fantastic, but to be able to bring stuff outside of that is utility. That's
okay. Cool. 2,000. You're level 11. 2,000 experience points. 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 2,000 experience points. Awesome stuff. Brian, did you have a good time?
Yeah, of course.
What was your highlight?
I feel bad that I missed the whole send-off, I wanted to be there for that. But it was fun doing the autopsy and preparing the body and doing all that stuff. I thought it was fun. I like grossing everybody out as best I can. That was fun. For me, that was fun. But I do wish I missed. I feel bad I missed the send-off.
That's all good.
I'll watch it.
The good thing is it's all been recorded. You can go back and watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
I was kind of looking forward to have you being part of that, though, with everything you had planned, and we kind of talked about offline. And I thought it was very creative of what you were going to do. So I think it was very, very, very cool. 1,000 experience. 4,000 experience points. You're level 7. 4,000 experience points.
All right. I have 2 chips. I need 800 to turn a level.
Does that count? Or no?
If anybody wants to donate any more for 100 XP.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to give you that. 4,500 experience.
All right, I'm up to 4. Hey, Matthias, you want to toss in some experience to get me to level 6?
Oh, yeah.
2 inspiration?
Sure. How much do you need?
It looks like.
Let's see. I'm at 6. Now
One
I'm
from
at
you, one from him?
6. I just need 2 more. So,
I'll throw in 2.
There you go.
you only need 1. There you go. All right.
Awesome.
And
Awesome
some
stuff.
other ones that were tossed in. There you
Awesome.
go.
Awesome
So
stuff.
how many?
it's
So
plus
how many
800
do
more.
I mark off?
Just one.
You're just one less.
Oh, okay.
Awesome stuff. Awesome. Congratulations. Another ding. Huzzah.
Nice.
Level 6. Awesome, guys.
Almost the same level as me, man.
I
Anybody got
greatly
100 inspiration for me. I can get to 14.
I greatly appreciate all
10,000, yeah.
Oh, 10,000.
10,000?
Oh, yeah, 100.
10,000. Yeah, you're not that. 9-ish.
Okay, I was gonna say, can I get 35 less experience than 1,000? I'm tired of keeping that 35 on there.
35.
Oh, you want to leave it
Just get an even 130.
Experience.
I don't know what that's just from way back when. You know.
Yeah, when we were given like I think you would like itemize it and give out like.
I did. I
all kinds of
used to be
random
much
stuff.
more anal retentive,
So
and now I just
I'm just
kind of
gonna delete the
round.
35, and I'm just gonna
Whatever,
keep
dude. What if that works for you? It's fine.
Round up to 50.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, in one session you're going to be 35 away from
100.
dinging.
Yeah, round up to 50.
Yeah. Whatever. If it works for you, I'm good with it. Hey, everybody, thank you for coming. I greatly appreciate you being here. It makes it fun for me. You guys are fantastic role players. I genuinely mean that. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching Seven-Sided Dice Carpathian Adventure. Again, we would like to thank Siren Escape for the use of their audio sound effects. That's www.syrinscape.com. Thank you, artists Yenu and Silky Noir, for the terrific character art. I think we got Naldo's new intro in this week at the beginning of the session. I don't know if anybody caught that. Thank you, Silky Noir, for the terrific job helping out with that as well. So patronize them by the @Yenu on Instagram, @Yenu on Tumblr and Twitter, and patronize Silky Noir on DeviantArt. Please comment in the Twitch chat room, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube. While we do this strictly for fun, please let us know how we might improve our stream. Lastly, please follow on Twitch and on Instagram. Please like on Facebook and on YouTube, and please subscribe on YouTube. I'm going to go a little bit long here. Does anybody object?
Go for it.
In a recent discussion with a lot of other dungeon masters, kind of what I was talking about earlier, one of our DMs sought assistance from fellow DMs. One of his players argued that rules as written, the ready action could be used out of combat before initiative is rolled. The DM said it could not. Whether or not you agree or disagree with the DM's ruling, the player continued to argue and insisted that the interpretation of the rules should be left up to group consensus, not to the DM to interpret the rules. Adding to that, the player said that the DM does not establish the rules, but facilitates the rules established by consensus.
Out of my game.
The DM wanted our group's opinion, hence our discussion. Before I dive into my opinion, know that I think a Session 0 is an invaluable tool. A Session 0 is a gathering before the start of play. It is important because every player, group, and DM is different. They invariably bring different experiences and expectations to a table. A Session 0 can help align expectations, or at least facilitate understanding of differing ones. My purpose for a Session 0 is to ensure players are aware of where we game to give them a chance to evaluate the commute, discuss play styles, review and discuss the campaign setting and theme. It's not for everyone, I found that out. Discuss house rules. Those are also not for everyone. Discuss boundaries and landmines. Those should be relatively universal, but you never know. Discuss character concepts to include the character's reason for adventuring and the reason for being with the party. That's pretty important, believe it or not. Decide what the characters will be, what will a player play. Discuss player and DM expectations, and, of course, to answer any questions. Though that's my outline, Xanathar's Guide to Everything also has an outline as well, should you desire to use it. One of the items I mentioned is establishing expectations. And toward that end, some seem to interpret establishing expectations as a need to reach consensus, that everyone must be in agreement before a rule may be established or may be changed. Some players further interpret a need for consensus as though the DM cannot change canon or interpret rules differently without the agreement of everyone. While there's nothing inherently wrong with a group choosing to play this way, the Dungeon Master's Guide says, as a referee, the DM interprets the rules and decides when to abide by them and when to change them. While players can vote with their feet, walk away, reaching consensus is a good idea and has value. Nonetheless, I think reaching consensus is what I would call a moral virtue as opposed to a moral obligation. Okay, pretty highbrow stuff, but what's the difference? Let's take an extreme analogy. If a child falls from a subway platform to the tracks below, and the child will die if not rescued, and if you can rescue them without jeopardizing your own life, then you have a moral obligation to save the child. However, if a child falls from a subway platform to the tracks below and the child will die if not rescued, but you cannot rescue them without jeopardizing your life, then rescuing the child is a moral virtue. With that, seeking consensus is akin to a moral virtue, but a DM is certainly not under any moral obligation to do so. I believe that a DM should strive for consensus, but put the fun of the group and their own fun first. Consensus is desirable, but may not be achievable, and it is certainly not required. Okay, let's take another example, perhaps still extreme. Suppose the consensus of the group is that erotic scenarios should not only be permitted, but played out in graphic detail. Harken back to my high school D&D days. But anyway, the DM may have three alternatives: acquiesce to the consensus and run a game that they do not enjoy, decline the consensus, forcing the players to accept the DM's preference, or lastly, end the game. Again, perhaps an extreme example, but it is intentionally an exaggeration to illustrate a point. The Player's Handbook states one player takes on the role of the Dungeon Master, the game's lead storyteller and referee. To the latter part, a referee doesn't seek consensus. A referee enforces the rules. An arbitrary player might argue, but we should establish the rules by consensus. You absolutely could. The Dungeon Master is not present to be the higher authority over everyone else. Saying, "What I say goes," sounds like a parent just scolding their child. And because you are the authority figure, that you get to do whatever you want. No, it's not supposed to be that way. It's a collaborative effort where every player has input, but someone has the final decision. The Dungeon Master Guide says, the D&D rules help you and the other players have a good time, but the rules are not in charge. You're the DM, and you're in charge of the game. In my opinion, it should not be a dictatorship, but given the mechanics of Dungeons and Dragons as opposed to some systems like Fate or other such games, someone has to be in charge. In the end, consensus does matter. Consensus on roles and expectations. A Dungeon Master's job is to create a fun and living world for their players to interact with and adjudicate the interactions with rules as written, rules as intended, and their own interpretations. While it's never fire and forget, I would argue that it's best handled in a session zero. I go so far as to create a wiki. It might be painfully long, but the players can refer back to. It's merely carved in digits, so it does change from time to time. Whether or not the DM wants the added work of creating a wiki, during a session zero, talk about how you would handle rulings as a DM during a game session and after. If you cannot reach consensus, or perhaps understanding, know that there is a game for everyone, but not everyone is right for every game. I will end my diatribe there. Always remember, in the Carpathian adventure, the journey is the destination, and we will continue the journey in 2 weeks. So for now, thank you for watching. Roll a 7-sided die and have a good night.
Huzzah!